Computer audio.
Welcome to Guy Aitchison's Reinventing the Tattoo Community. You could find us directly at either of the app stores or go straight to community.reinventingthetattoo.com and then sign up, and you'll see the first link there is the event schedule that has all sorts of amazing live events. This is the Tattoo Collecting Podcast, number 26, and this is Bio Madness. And it's going to be very exciting. There's a whole crew of people that are already lined up to talk about their love of bio tattoos. And I believe there's even more people on the way. So I don't know where you're beaming in from, but as I was saying, the Reinventing the Tattoo community or the Reinventing the Tattoo YouTube channel will be the main places where you could find all of this programming. Upcoming regular shows consist of the Reinventing drawing groups that happen at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Sundays with Jason Lesser, and 9 o'clock in the morning, every Monday morning, with Jake Meeks from the Fireside Tattoo Network. Every Monday night at 9 o'clock, there are subscriber exercises for Guy Aitchison's Reinventing the Tattoo Canon. So if you have a paid subscription, then you get exclusive exercises, group exercises with Guy that he pulls straight from used to be the book, and now it's the online courses. It's crazy. And obviously, Guy loves the bio and is a driving force behind the movement. So it's always awesome to. Anyways, so that's Monday nights at 9 o'clock. Let's see, Thursdays at noon is when we generally have the Tattoo Collecting podcast, but this is a special event. So let's see here. Other special upcoming events. March 9th, we have two events coming up. One is an art jam in Spanish. So if you speak Spanish or you are learning Spanish, there's an art jam for you. Both of these are evenings, 8 or 9 o'clock. You'll have to check the listings. But we also have a drunk critique coming up on the 9th also. So if you speak Spanish or like to drink, next Tuesday, the 9th, is going to be for you. And then save the date. The March 20th is going to be the Reinventing the Tattoo Equinox Art Jam Party Craziness. You are going to want to get the biggest projector or video screen or TV that you can, and the largest speakers. We have Android Jones performing the visuals and Ajalu laying down some sound. And it's going to be pretty awesome. And we are encouraging people to, like I said, beam this shit as big as you can. Paint along. We'll have two different rooms, one where you can watch the show and another one where you can, if you're creating art, everyone can kind of beam in together. So that is the 20th. Make sure you mark it on the calendars. It'll probably be in the evening. We're finalizing the time for that. We want to thank our sponsors. We have Loose Screw Tattoo in Richmond, Virginia. They are looking for resident tattooers, and they are wicked busy. So give it a go. Loose Screw Tattoo. They have a join the team button, and let them know that you found out about them on Reinventing and you have the right attitude already. And you really want to check it out. They have like vacation, health, dental, all that kind of good stuff as far as real business goes. Also, inkjet stencils. You can manipulate your photo reference for your future tattoos and then print out your stencil straight from your iPad or your computer. They also have an opportunity for you to get 5 free stencils. So check out their spot in the Reinventing the Tattoo app. Raw Pigments. If you are tattooing and you definitely want to check them out. They are getting their stuff straight from the source. And I believe it's rawpigments.com, but do a search for them online. And we're excited to have them on board. And we will be doing interviews with some of their artists and talking more inks in the future. And then let's see, we want to also plug our affiliates. So these are different podcasts or YouTube channels that are supportive of the Reinventing community. And so this one is, Fireside Tattoo Network. Check out Jake Meeks' YouTube channel. And he's got all sorts of great interviews and whatnot. One of them recently was with the Tattoo Snob guy who's awesome. That's got a great quality Instagram, always slamming tattoos. Anyways, Fireside Tattoo Network. Check out their YouTube channel and in the podcast store. Okay, we want to thank Cheyenne Tattoo. They sent us a whole mess of samples to put in some goodie bags that we will be starting to distribute soon. So definitely engage in the community. Hop on that app or go through the website, upload some tattoos and stuff, and you might be getting a link so that we can get your address to send you some great stuff. Okay, I am going to hop into the background now. Please, if this is working for you, let us know in the chat room where you're beaming in from, who some of your favorite tattoo influences are, especially if they're bio. And I might pop in to relay your messages, but on the other hand, this is going to be an awesome panel, so I might just sit back and enjoy. Either way, I'm going to pass the camera over to Jordan and Fawn, and thank you everyone very much. This is always a ton of fun.
Welcome.
Yeah, hello and welcome.
You're on, Jordan and Fawn.
Welcome.
Cool, thanks.
Tonight
You are quiet.
we have
We
the
can't
best
hear you.
show lined up.
You need to click the button.
You got it?
Our sound is
Isn't
on
it
here.
always this like this?
No, we're that's
Can everyone else hear me?
Everything's good on our end.
Can anyone hear me?
Hey,
we hear you.
we hear you.
Yeah, I can hear.
Is this audio even working? Hello, testing.
Yes, we hear you.
We hear you, man.
Does everybody
Can you hear us?
Does everybody hear us, Jordan and Fawn?
Are we live? Are we
Yep.
are we
And we're live. Okay,
we're on
thank you.
airwaves? Welcome.
Awesome. Welcome to the Tattoo
Collecting Podcast.
Yeah, we're here now.
We're here.
Well, we are here for an awesome episode. This is our Biomech special. We're here with a whole collection of awesome Biomech enthusiasts and artists.
We've got collectors, we've got artists, we've got us. We're probably going to see a lot of people take their clothes off.
Yep.
That happens.
Yep, I imagine. We'll see what we get into today.
Let's go ahead take turns introducing ourselves. Who all do we have with us?
So Blade's here. Blade
Yes.
Emodio.
Hi. What's up?
You want to talk to us about your collection and just a quick rundown of some of your big pieces?
And,
Yeah,
and
sure.
actually, real quick, before you do that, can you turn your camera sideways so we get the full effect? Ah, perfect. Thank you.
Sweet, no problem. Yeah, so I have an Adam France piece, pretty big Biomech piece on my chest. I can just take off my shirt, like they said.
Clothes are coming off already.
I've got a Kevin Stress Biomech stuff on my arm, on my leg. I've got a Gunner piece that he did Biomech on my thigh. Those are my big Biomech pieces. Otherwise, I've got, other stuff everywhere.
Nice. Very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Next we have Forrest. You want to talk to us a little bit about your collection?
And who have you gotten tattooed from? Hey, look, we got Brian in here.
It's
Yeah,
Brian.
Forrest, the guy who just popped in, did most of my tattoos. Brian Geckel. I have I guess I'll just start with my chest, a collab piece by him and Josh Payne. And a bio.
Pull that up.
leg
Slow down. Let's see it.
Sorry.
You went too fast. Let's see the tattoo.
Here, sorry, I'm having my headphones are messing around, so I can't really hear that well. Might as well just pop it off.
Oh yeah, that is so dope.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, it healed fucking perfectly.
Yeah, Brian, you
Everything's
killed it on
holding
that.
great. I just love the outcome of it. So yeah, that was Brian and Josh Payne, and I have a collab leg sleeve, at least on the inner thigh and the foot, by Ty McEwen and Brian Geckel as well. And then Brian did the lower half and the outside as well. And I plan to continue that with Ty and Mike Cole up the ribs as well. Some more bio, and yeah, some random work from Brian as well. And then the start of Biomech, he kind of Sharpied that in on the session.
We're losing you a little bit.
Interesting experience. First time, I don't know, experiencing Biomech, I guess.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Coming right together. Your collection's one of those ones that I just love watching the collection grow. Let's hear from Jay next.
Hi,
Introduce
can you hear me?
yourself. Yep, we can hear you.
Yep.
I'm Jay. Most of my tattoos are from Ty McEwen. I started getting tattooed by him about 5 years ago now. We started my right sleeve, and then he moved on. I would show you, but the lighting's kind of terrible in here. I have to be on my phone. But
We'll
then he
pull up
started.
pictures later on.
Okay. Then he started a rib cover up. I had a pretty big shitty tattoo on my ribs that he was able to cover. And then we moved on to my back the year after that. And then we moved on to my chest and stomach, and then COVID happened and things kind of slowed down from there. So that's still not finished yet.
You'll get there. It's not a race.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ty, do you want to introduce yourself and maybe, what you do and a little bit about your tattoo collection?
Ty McEwen. I'm from, right now I live in Phoenix, Arizona. Let's see. I actually have a lot of tattoos, a lot of Biomech tattoos. I have a sleeve from Carson Hill. Guy did my left leg, I think. And then Carson also did one of the sides of my neck. Nathan Costeco, back when he did Biomech, he did the other side. That's all I have for actual bio stuff. Everything else is a collection of just kind of like random tattoos that I wanted to get from other artists that didn't do bio.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Are we losing Ty?
I don't know.
Oh, he's still on there.
There you go.
Awesome. Well, Brian, hey man,
What's up?
how you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for letting me pop in. I'm finishing working, guys.
Yeah, thanks for
The most
popping
appropriate, man.
on. So what are you working on over there? It looks like a nice geo dot work piece.
Yeah. This is my client Allie, and she's cool enough to let me also chat while we work. But yeah, we're doing a little geometric kind of ornament, I guess, design, tying into some of her existing stuff and finishing off the arm here. It's fun so far.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Let's see. Have we heard from Todd yet?
No.
Where's Todd? Are you there, Todd? He runned off on us. We lost Todd. Todd's awesome. He's got an impeccable collection as well. Let's see. Have we introduced everybody? We didn't leave anybody
Yeah,
out?
I think that's everybody. I
Cool.
think we're still waiting on
Cool.
Adam to get here at some
I
point.
think Adam will be chiming in. Guy will be chiming in.
All right. Well, Fawn, who do you have work from?
Oh, who do
so
I have
like,
work
why don't
from?
we? Yeah.
Oh, well, I've got work from Ty. I've got work from Adam. I've got work from Russ. I've got work from Guy. And then there's some others in there too.
Yeah, Adam's done a full leg sleeve on you, right?
Yep. I've got a full leg sleeve from Adam, and then I've got the collaborative chest piece that he and Ty did together. My full back from Russ Abbott, and my armpits.
Yeah.
My armpit borders from Guy. Yeah, as far as bio tattoos go, those are my bio tattoos. What do you have,
Nice.
Jordan? Who are you walking around wearing?
Well, I've been working on this back piece from Guy the past like 6 months. We've been starting that. Let's see if this shot can get any of it. So we've started this. This has been
Turn all the way around.
4 sessions or so.
Put on this camera.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be harder to do.
Just
Maybe.
stand up. There you go.
There we go.
Look at that magic. You see that thing? And that's only 2 visits, right?
Yeah, that's 2 visits, 4 sessions now. So yeah.
Crazy, man.
We do about 8 hours a session. That's been fun. And then I got Nathan Marty. He has done. Let's see if I can get that on here. Nathan Marty did this big guy.
Sweet.
Sick.
And Adam France doing this.
Back it up a little bit. There you go. Cool. That thing's sweet.
Yeah, this big like dino mech piece, and then in the center here, probably kind of hard to tell on this, but like a volcano going up into this whole
Oh yeah, yeah.
landscapey scene.
Cool.
Dino mech.
It's so hard and awkward to show our tattoos off and on camera. I'll end up taking at least some of my clothes off throughout the night for sure. But to start off with, we'll keep it mild.
All right. So Biomech.
Work.
Oh, Todd's back.
Yeah, I had to let my dogs out.
Oh, it's cool. Well, you want to introduce yourself and talk about some of your tattoo collection? And then we'll just kind of start bouncing the ball around, talk about what everybody's been up to.
Well, yeah, I'm the only one that don't have any Biomech here. But
love it.
It's all right.
I do
we
love
like
it
your
though.
voice.
I don't
I
know.
do love it.
Your Jesse Levitt piece might count.
What?
Don't you have a knee from Jesse Levitt?
Yep, I do. If I can get that on there. This is gonna be hard.
That's
I don't even
definitely
think I knew you had
Biomech.
that.
That's for sure in the realm
Counts.
of Biomech.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is a strong Biomech piece. You for sure have a Biomech piece. Crazy. That's so awesome, though. Jesse Levitt
Todd's
kills.
such
He kills it.
a well-rounded tattoo appreciator.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you've got tattoos of so many different styles, and you know, well-rounded. I guess it's a thing, right?
I guess.
Wide variety. Yeah, well-rounded. I like that.
Hey, Adam, what's up?
Hey, homie. Just in time to introduce yourself. You got to guess who we all are.
What's up, homie?
How's it going, guys?
Good.
Good.
It's a little quiet on your end. Is there a way to turn up the volume at all?
I love that. Always about turning up the volume. How's
Yeah.
that? Is that better?
Up to 11.
Okay.
So what's up on the West
What's
Coast,
up?
guys?
I'm Brandon. Good to see you. Well, it's still sunny outside today, and it's feeling pretty good out here.
So sorry, I don't mean to pipe in, but Adam, we got to do something about that headphone microphone. It's like clickety clacky. It
Yeah.
might even be better without headphones.
Yeah, thanks, Gabe.
Gabe's here? Okay, let me try this.
If your technology doesn't work, I'm in the background telling you.
We appreciate that.
Yes, much better.
Yeah.
Gabe's always like
better.
Yeah.
seducing the technology demons in the background.
We need it sometimes.
Okay. So yeah, these
Perfect.
headphones are really good for telling infomercial people to fuck off. That's about it.
Nice. Yeah, we hear much better now. So would you like to introduce yourself again, since we can hear you better? Mr. France?
Hi, I'm Adam France. I live in the Pacific Northwest on Earth, and I'm happy to be a part of this. Thanks for bringing me in.
Cool. Thanks for joining us, guys. I think we're gonna have fun tonight. So who's working on some rad projects right now? We know Brian's currently working on a client as we speak. But what are you guys excited about?
I have a ton of stuff always kind of in progress because I do all my tattooing in layers. So like everything is kind of like in this, steady pattern of beginning, middle, and end.
I feel that.
It's kind of one of the things that's nice about how you document your process so much better than I do. I actually like go to your Instagram a lot to show people like how I'm going to work through this painterly process to be like, okay, here's going to be layer one. It's going to be like your midtones. It's going to be this. And then next time I see you, we're going to like bring this thing to life and bring it into focus. And you do a really good job explaining that part of the creative process. It helps me a lot in my consultations. So thank you for taking the time to do that.
Hey, Ty.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Ty, how long have you been doing? Have you been working in mainly biomech tattoos? Has that been something that you've been doing since you started tattooing? Did you paint that beforehand, or did you kind of learn the ropes? Doing lots of different styles and then kind of hone into that?
Yeah, the latter. When I started tattooing, it was like 17-ish years ago. Like tattooing was a very different place. So I learned how to tattoo first, but the goal was always to do biomech stuff. And then I'd say probably the last, I don't know. Adam might even know better than me when I started really doing biomech exclusively. Like, what do you think, dude? Like maybe like 12 years ago?
Yeah, I mean,
maybe,
I
right?
remember, like seeing like the transition happen there, where it went from tattoo stuff that people were doing, you know, the mediocre thing that kind of keeps a tattoo artist in business more than most. And then it transitioning into this stuff that I was like, ooh, okay. Like there was like this weird goat head painting thing or something. And then the next one was like this really gnarly, cool fucking thing. It looked like it was kind of like a leaf or something, you know. And I'm like, I like that shit, like way cooler, you know, but I wasn't about to be like, fuck your goat head or whatever. You know? It was cool to see that, like, you know, attempt and that outreach that you made to like just jump into new stuff. You know, granted, you know, you're like in the company of some really good Biomech artists at the time that, you know, I feel like you're able to befriend and see how things worked a little bit better and stuff, which was awesome jump start to like get the ideas rolling.
Yeah, I remember like when you put out your first little book, and George had it in his shop at FTS. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Way back when? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that like comic book pamphlet thing.
Yeah, dude. That thing was legit. I was like, oh shit. Yeah.
Different things. Yeah, we've all went through some phases, I feel like, at times to try to discover this style, and you know, for it to be something that all of us have kind of landed in as a collector or somebody that's creating this on the regular, you know, it says a lot to like how powerful of a you know, a vibe, a style that it actually is. You know, it possesses a lot of really awesome minds and keeps us there, you know, more than portraits or goat heads and all these other things that, you know, I could totally do all day, but just it's definitely it mystifies us differently, you know.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, right. It's kind of this thing that just like culminates. It's like the product of like everything, you know. It's like it could be anything. So it's just so dependent on whatever your imagination is, and you know, from personality to personality, it just can drastically be so different. It's like this like raw expression, making the abstract real.
Nicely put. Nicely put.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's kind of like taking all these visual elements that I just like to daydream and play in, and then like when you can take those elements and turn them into something else and turn that daydream into like maybe a reality for somebody else. It's really hard to like define bio, but I think the way you just put it was pretty nice.
Right.
Yeah, but bio flows the best out of all styles on the body.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I'm right there with you on that.
I think it's the element of transformation.
I think it can be. I mean, I think, you know, that's definitely my opinion. I think that's true. I think there could be other people out there who might like, you know, say another style might be. I think it can be fairly relative, but at the same time, I truly feel like it has the most fit and flow, and that's just by nature. You know, it has to, but it also just adds so much more dimension to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And anything, I think anything that starts to do that usually starts to get into the realm of a bio piece. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we take it and wrap it around like the anatomy. You know, we're dealing with the human anatomy in a different mental capacity than just placement of objects, and then hoping we can figure out a way to tie them all together with some type of background or
you got to make it look functional and alive.
Yeah, you're trying to work the existing development of their anatomy and transform them into, you know, this whole other thing that works and moves with their body, you know. And it's like nothing does that. And anywhere else in tattooing, you're not sitting there trying to bend their elbow 3 different directions to see if it's going to look cool. You just slap it on and get going usually, you know. It's like,
right.
It's different, you know?
Yeah, I
It's
always
like,
kind of think about it like you're like almost like I'm like carving it away. You know what I mean? Like it's like
totally.
you know what I'm saying? Like you're like it's clay or like it's a piece of wood and you're like chiseling it out or something. Like that's what I always think about while I'm designing it or drawing it on or whatever.
I like that. I like that.
I've got to watch
I feel that.
Jay's progress almost from the beginning, because he's done a lot of work at Hell City and that. I has, and it's been pretty cool to watch that whole transformation of him.
Dude, that kid's an animal. Like,
Why don't you screen share some pictures of Jay's collection?
Yeah.
Baby Jay to now.
right?
There
Yeah,
he is.
you're a trooper, Jay.
This guy's an animal.
Look at that.
Dang.
Look at
Yeah.
that.
And this is a super good example over the years. You know, Todd, I've watched this one come together just like you have, and it's really cool to see
Yeah.
the layer progression that we were talking about a little bit ago.
Yeah, I just love this green right here, right next to this yellow. Like that's it's great.
Calm down, Jordan.
Love it.
Calm down.
Oh god.
Calm down.
Bio boner.
Sorry, it's mostly pictures of me and Cricket on there, I think.
That's all right. Filter through them.
Odds loves the dog, man. She's more pictures of the dog. Oh, look at baby Ty there.
I know, right?
Escape around.
That's sick.
Yeah, Ty, you killed it.
I love that like bright blue glow down there at the bottom too. It's such a nice like alien feature to such a fleshy, tissuey looking thing. Ugh.
Got a lot of radiance and really nice cast light coming out of that blue object down there.
That's right. Absolutely.
So how hard was it to talk Jay into letting you just do like this big single hook on his entire back? Like, I'm just gonna do one single element, but do it the most grotesque I possibly can.
Are you asking me?
Well, I was asking how hard it was for Ty to talk you into it. Either one.
Oh, not hard at all. I usually just let him do whatever he wants. Actually, every time he's just done whatever he wanted. Like I kind of give input on like what like warm colors I want. Like on my arm, he asked if I wanted like orange or green, so I picked green. But other than that, I think he's pretty much just gone with whatever he wanted to do, and I'm cool with it because I mean it comes out like this.
I think you've got one of those tattoos that any tattoo collector sees this and just recognizes it right off the rip. Like they might not recognize your face, but every tattoo collector in the world recognizes this tattoo, I think. It's just...
If I saw your garage door, I would recognize it.
Right? Every single
That's how many times I've seen this photo.
It's got the best background for tattoo photos.
He's just really proud of his garage door, Adam.
That's a nice door.
I like how Ty does his stomach there.
Wow, yeah, dude.
Yeah, we got to figure out something for that pec. That thing is rough.
I know, man. I want you to just, if you would, just like cover it without laser, maybe.
Jay really wants to avoid laser so bad.
Can you imagine if an apprentice said that? Double the laser.
Right. Oh god.
Who did that other chess piece? Some I was like, I doubt Ty, right? That's some older stuff.
No, it was Levi Cox, and I think he's in Columbus, maybe now. I'm not really sure where he's at now, but
Sarah's here.
I had a bunch of really shitty, like way shittier tattoos on my arm, and I was like, I need all these covered. So he's like, Biomech's the way to go. But,
yeah, man, good up, man.
but I remember like looking a long time ago at it, and I'm like, my bio doesn't look like these other people's bio. Like Ty and Guy and like Adam, like you were like the first like real like bio I had seen before, and I was like, I want that shit.
Heck yeah, dude. Yeah, I like to call like the first attempt, you know, the Biomech.
I tried Omech.
Give it a whirl, you know, but it doesn't always just get as much as it needs, you know, because they're kind of working off of different reference or other ideas, and, you know, or it's a cover up, you know, you're doing your best and things, and it's just definitely, I feel like Ty could annihilate that when you're ready.
Yeah, I just really am not looking forward to laser at all. I'd prefer not to do that. But like if it needs to be done, I guess I can do it.
Triple the laser.
Laser it up.
What if you blacked it out instead and then worked like on top
Right.
of that with like the like Bermuda blues and whites?
Extreme.
Nah.
I mean, with the patience you have for tattooing and all the other stuff you've already put yourself through, what's a little bit of black?
More black. Black.
That's such a dope piece, though.
It is.
Hey, we know some laser people, man. You know.
So, I imagine some people might be listening to this that really don't know much about Biomech, and that it could be a fairly new thing. Like, let's imagine from like the beginning collector, you know, someone's getting tattooed. We want to throw this on the TV for them to listen to. So if we had I don't know, I feel like some of us should try to describe what it is we like about Biomech, like what makes Biomech, because every one of us would probably have a different answer. Like Adam, I hate to put you on the spot, but what is it about Biomech that you like? Like what makes Biomech?
Yeah, you know, I like the variety of it. You know, it's kind of like pizza and shit. You know, that like I mean, there's just like 5 million different options to make something still come out to where at the end of the day, you're gonna still agree to and shake my hand and say that that's a pizza on the table or something. You know, and it comes from all these different ingredients that are just so fascinating. You know, and like that's I think my biggest draw to it is that how many ingredients can be used from nature and from space and from natural reality or from, you know, your own mind's eye or wherever you've been able to go, you know, internally and bring that all back together and put it together and come out with something that, you know, people are still going to group in biomech or something in a way, but in the long run, you know, it still has its own like flavor, like each pizza or something would have, you know, it's like they're all individuals in a way, but it's still like very full of like all these rad ingredients that you just could be like what you decided to kind of harvest for the week and put into it or something. You know?
Yeah, I like that.
Pizza.
I like the pizza reference, the Biomech pizza reference.
We always get back to pizza with Adam every time.
Right.
Every time.
That's what I'll be telling my clients now. They'll be asking me about it. I'll be like, "Have you ever heard of the pizza reference?"
Yeah, a little pepperoni here. You know, we're gonna put some broccoli on this stuff. Maybe some space broccoli.
Like, we're not gonna do pizza, but
broccoli.
like, let me break some pizza down for you.
And let's sprinkle in another dimension on top of that.
Right. I love that Biomech can be robotic, or it can be like crustacean, like something like this. Like this, it was probably Marcus Leonard. Like it looks like a crab or something like that, but like the most beautiful crab that just melted right into like some sort of agate.
A graceful transformation.
It's got this mineral-esque look, crystalline look, but also mixed with like very exoskeleton.
Yeah, really awesome. What are the rest of you? I mean, like, I just got a question posed to me.
Adam, we appreciated yours. Ty.
I'm kind of curious what the other explanation, you know, what their like standpoint, I guess, would be there, especially, you know,
if you have to
define
it, Ty.
No, don't do me. Do Geckel first.
All right,
Make
Geckel.
We'll
put Brian on the spot.
I've been getting away with fucking not saying anything, so fuck that guy. Get him on here.
He's concentrating. He's
Boy, dude, I'm putting this thing in.
Bullshit, you're accountable.
All right, what do I say? What do I like about Biomech? I do like its diversity. I like that it's like mainly like imagination based. You know, I think that's super fun. It's one aspect of tattooing that kind of has that, or it's the only aspect of tattoo that kind of has that, where it's like just purely imagination, you know, like not taking something. It can be taking something and turning it into something weird, but it can also just be like literally your imagination come to life, and I think that's great.
Right.
Versus like you're not like rendering something that already exists, and you can kind of just like shoot from the hip. Like, okay, I just like these shapes. I'm gonna render those shapes to look really fucking real. That's definitely something that I enjoy about it a lot.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And kind of like what you guys touched on earlier about like how it can fit the body and the flow and the form. It's super unique in that way as well.
Are there any things in nature or like any creatures or animals that you really like that you'd like pull reference from, or like ever like you tend to drift towards a lot when you like are maybe pull from a reference, or if you're just, you know, thinking about things that inspire you to make Biomech or something, or, you know, is there anything from nature in particular you like to pull from? Or maybe everything?
For me?
Yeah. Yeah, you, Brian.
Yeah, you're on the spot right now. Spotlight Brian.
What's your favorite animal?
Oh, we lost him. It was too heavy.
He disappeared.
I just didn't want to answer.
What's your second favorite animal?
Oh man.
Blacked out right when I said, nope, not answering that one.
Censored.
Odds, will you let Haku out real fast? He's bugging me hard. Thanks.
All the producers are making their appearances now. All the animals will have their part.
Oh yeah.
One of the things I love about bio when I'm daydreaming is I love looking at like macro photography. Like, have you ever looked at like pollen under like an electron microscope scan, where it's just like down to the tiniest version of a pollen you can zoom up to?
Totally.
They look nuts. They look like alien shapes. They look like they're from another planet. Diatoms, I could spend hours just looking at diatoms. So there's all these like super micro elements of nature that just blow my mind, because I imagine them giant. And then I imagine, like, in the grand scheme of things, you know how I always talk about scale of, you know, when I really get super baked and get really out there in La La Land. I love just pulling both micro and macro together, and then like adding some energy to it to bring it alive. So like whether it's like light rays that like things are growing from, or if it's like some kind of energy form being emitted somewhere. I love just taking like all those different micro and macro ingredients. That's what does it for me. It's the micro and macro, and then like at the same time throw in like a nebula.
Right.
So we've got like all the scales you can imagine all in one space.
I
So
love
it's
this.
almost like disorienting. Like, is this giant? Is this micro? Is this, you know, I guess I like bio that almost makes you ask more questions. Like, I want you to look at it and be like, I mean, I believe it exists, but is it a plant? Is it animal? Is it bone? Is it rock? I believe it exists, but what is it? And I think that's what pulls my trigger for bio when I'm making it, and what I collect. Like, I want it to tell a story, but I almost want you, I think, to ask more questions. Like my armpits, like, why do you have portals in your armpits? First of all, I don't know. Why not? Why do you have a geometric
I want you to feel
block
like you
on
can
your
fall
back?
into
I
them.
don't know. Yeah. Like,
If you feel like you might get sucked up into them, like,
yeah, I think my answer is usually like, well, why wouldn't I get portals there?
Right.
Like,
I show my arm, I'm
wouldn't-
like robot dinosaurs. That's what I'm going for. Like robot dinosaurs, because I love robots.
Why would you
I
get
love
that?
dinosaurs, and if history went the way that I would like it to go, there would have been robot dinosaurs.
Why wouldn't I get that? I just like the posing of more questions. And I think that's where like I'm a fan of surreal art to begin with. So for me, like there's a huge connection between bio art and like just your classic definition of surreal art, because it's things that may or may not really belong together in reality, but like through our imagination we make that story like come to life and make sense and become a new thing, all while transforming the whole body part that we're working on or that we're wearing, or I don't know. It's a whole bunch of magic daydreams to me.
Yeah, I like that idea of like daydreaming. I think about it a lot like that. Like whenever I'm making Biomech and I'm starting something new, and I'm sure, you know, everyone else who makes Biomech kind of understands, right? It's like looking at a cloud for me. Like, you know, when you look at a cloud, you start to like, you see a shape, and then you look closely, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, this little face, maybe it starts to like, oh, it's kind of looks like a tiger. And it's like I sit and stare at it for a minute, and all of a sudden like now it's totally a tiger. And then I, you know, the more I let my mind just create it into being that, the more I can push or pull it any one direction that I want. But I feel like, you know, Biomech is the way of doing that, like super solidly, like really like manifesting what those visions might be that you might project onto that, but project them onto something with like, you know, all this intelligence behind it, all this technique. If that makes sense.
Magic. But you got to make it look effortless. That's the trick. It can't look like you tried hard. You can't like ever let your client know that you're trying hard to make this. You got to be like, oh yeah, it'll be that. Just it's fine. It'll be that. Like, full confidence, no nervousness, no like this thing doesn't exist. Like, no, but then when you realize this thing doesn't exist, like, oh, I've got all the freedom back again. It's a lot. It's a lot, but it's so much fun to play with. So much fun to play with, because I don't know. I don't think everybody can. I don't think every artist has the same kind of imagination. You know what I mean? Like, we don't all think the same way, but there is something about people who like love bio art. Like, we all, for the most part, like play with chemistry. Right. Like, I don't know many bio collectors or artists who don't at least occasionally trip. Right.
It's a little bit of a little bit of like a cult phenomenon. Like, not necessarily culty, but like,
I was just gonna say, like, I think it's more like a spiritual similarity that we all have. It's just a spiritual similarity that we all already have, and we're all exploring those imagination realms, like collectors and artists. Like, we're all dancing in those same
right. And it's one of those things that like, and the people who like it, they really like it, and they're definitely, I don't know, I really enjoy people's personalities who like Biomech. Like, as soon as I know they're into it, like there is usually a few things that lead up to that like not make them a better person in any sort of way.
Let me ask you this, Jordan.
But it just
have you ever worked on somebody and done a Biomech piece and found out they didn't believe in aliens? Does everybody that collects bio believe in aliens?
I would probably. I can't speak for everyone, but personally, no.
We're gonna have to have a deep, long conversation afterwards, involving like multiple dinners and lunches and documentation links sent personally at the moment, or maybe cancellation, bro. Like, we need to be talking about the same like last names of like researchers and fucking weird shit. We both need to like kind of love and also hate Dr. Stephen Greer at the same time.
Right. Man, I loved his work up until we started getting
we're like, what are we doing here? You know?
Oh, yeah. You know what's really funny? I got to talk to Marty the other night. I was sitting there, I was sitting tattooing, and he was like talking about, he's like, and then I seen it like that, and then like I just hear these little blips of like his voice, like, and it was up there, and he's getting excited, telling his client about something. I'm like, Marty, are you telling a UFO story right now? And he's like, yeah, man. And he just goes like deep into this UFO story. And then I sat in his room after I got done tattooing for probably an hour and a half with him, just telling, like, I was telling him all my UFO stories. He was telling me he had one story, but he was like, man, he was like I seen this for sure. He's like, we had like 20 different people stopped on the side of the road watching this. I thought it was awesome.
Marty blows your mind, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yes. I'm always
tell you
looking
all
for
the time,
something
he's a
awesome to talk
wizard.
about with Marty. And I was like,
Now you got the in with
aliens.
aliens.
Oh yeah.
Yep, we talk about animals and nature all the time. He like, I
I look
bet
for my in to talk about aliens
You
with
know,
anybody, especially like
I bet
someone I
Marty
respect.
Holcomb would just slay some naturey bio work. I bet he, if somebody sat down in his chair and was like, I would love a full bio sleeve, whatever you want to do, it would be so bright and so flowy and he'd probably like blink and it'd be done. And he'd
It's
probably use
surprising
like
that-
3 colors. Get the whole rainbow out of 3 colors.
Has he never done a Biomech piece? Have you ever seen anything from him like that?
I'm sure he has. I haven't seen anything that I know of, but I'm sure he has. He's too much of a daydreamer not to. Like some of his paintings, like they're kind of borderline like, okay, look at those dragon claws. I see you, Marty. Okay.
Right.
Like he's a daydreamer. He could probably do I maybe that's what I need to do. Just be like, Marty, do a big bio piece on one of the panels of my leg that's left.
Make it about aliens.
That's a perfect idea.
Do any of you guys have any of you guys ever seen a UFO?
Yes.
Yes. So we got a yes from Todd, yes from Blade. Adam, have you seen a UFO?
Well, yeah, I guess unidentified flying object.
He was like, well, duh.
Didn't identify it. It's still working on that. So
Yeah.
yeah. With sober friends and lit friends and at different moments with nobody, with groups, with just one friend, with my lady, kinds of different times, So yeah, there's something happening, something definitely coming and going on a frequent basis, something that's made me as a self-proclaimed scientist, I guess, question the physics involved with how it's just in, at certain times things have been able to defeat the properties we've been taught. So I don't know. Yeah, something's going down.
Do you think if a UFO can go in the water and in space and in the air that it could phase through a wall at the same time?
I don't know. I mean, my idea at this point is that some field is being created. It's gravity or propulsion is based off of gravity, and at that rate, it could create a lot of quick propulsion through magnetics and things like that. The things that I've seen personally lead me to believe that it's using some type of gravity-based propulsion, which could also be a gravity field that emits such a strong force field and vibration that it actually creates light and could travel as light, through light, with light, at the speed of light. And so, yeah, things like barriers that we would understand would be no hindrance to something like that, especially water or just open space or open air. I don't know about solid objects. That's a little like phase shifting that would need to occur there, according to what I understand about physics. But once again, didn't go to school for that. So
right. I've just been wondering, based on some of like the UFO sightings and stuff that I've been seeing and listening to like the David Fravor ones and stuff, like thinking like, okay, this thing's gone underwater, it's gone in the sky, and it came from space. So like, if it's able to just like go in and out of the water like that with no tension and no surface break, is it able to like? Is it just like phasing through it?
I'm just waiting on like one of them to get off the ship and ask for a sleeve.
Please, please. I would be the first person to tattoo fucking alien.
Personally, I think that they're traveling. They can generate their own wormholes and go that way, because the distances that we are talking about between us and stars are so much that it makes more sense that you could bypass that than
Like
have to travel.
I would like to think that.
Yeah, that makes way more sense.
Scooting in between the space.
Right, but it's like maybe it's nothing for them. Maybe they just pop right in and out.
We're getting back to the scale talk again.
What?
Do you think they already have tattoos?
Scale.
Like, do you think there's like aliens with like biomech tattooing out there anywhere? Like,
It would be
Yeah.
the worst disguise and best
They would get,
disguise
like-
at the same time.
They get
Yeah.
like human arms tattooed over their fucking badass arms.
Right. So they probably got some just insane
Irony.
genetic like 3D printing, like just put your arm in a thing and it just becomes literal biomech. Like not even like you just bypassed the
No,
paintbrush,
imagine
bypassed
imagine
the
the
two-dimensional
aliens.
ink.
Imagine that the aliens already look rad and they're covering their cool armor with like fleshy, tissuey, like marshmallowy human skin. Like
So they're already here.
dream art.
You say so they're already here.
Well, here they're everywhere. Then, like, all right, Ty, take off the suit.
Hi, have you seen a UFO?
Nah, man.
Do you want to?
I mean, yeah, why not?
I'd hope so. I was wondering.
Yeah, I'm just one of those unlucky people that's never seen anything like that.
It'll
Um,
happen if you wanted to.
The first time I saw one
I feel
for
like they're there
sure
enough.
was several years ago, like maybe 7 or 8 years ago. But like I'd seen things when I was a kid, but I could be like, it could have been this or it could have been that. So it wasn't like conclusive, but like maybe 7 or 8 years ago, I saw one in broad daylight for a long period of time. So there's no like,
Yeah.
I watched this thing for like 45 minutes. It was up in the dirty mitten.
Oh, what was it? What it looked
The
like?
little blip in the sky. I've shared the story before.
Oh, probably. I was.
But like it was just like a blip, and then it didn't like
reiterate.
travel like a plane, but it actually like it went from like here to here simultaneously. It wasn't a glare, it wasn't anything reflecting in my windows. I saw it whether my window was up or down. Like I tried to debunk this thing as I was watching it. You know what I mean? Like I'm skeptic. I believe, but at the same time I'm skeptic. So
Okay.
I mean, I believed before that for sure, but like now it's like, okay, I've seen one. There's something we can't explain going on.
That's cool though.
But I don't
really
feel
awesome.
I don't feel compelled to be afraid of it at all whatsoever. As curious as I am, I'm not afraid whatsoever of it.
Yeah, I'm not afraid, but I've had a few. I mean, I've had a couple handfuls of encounters, to be honest, where they've been, seen some pretty wild things in the sky. But there was a couple of them that actually made me a little afraid, not because of like anything anything more than it just being really close, and then like the real fear of the presence of something unknown, and like just no idea what its will is or anything. Yeah, I mean, one encounter that I'm thinking of in particular, I could probably go on like a 15-minute rant about that one. I don't know if that's appropriate for the Biomech podcast, but we're already on the subject.
Tie it together, man.
All right.
Has anybody else seen any UFOs or anything like that?
Blade, I'm pretty sure Blade told me a story one time about some UFO shit he saw.
Absolutely. I've seen them. I've seen them, and this is a weird one. I've heard them without seeing them. One time I was laying in my room, and I heard this it didn't sound like a helicopter, but it was just like this sound, and it was above just above my house, and I could hear it like going from across, and then suddenly it was just gone. Like it just took off, and I was just, what the fuck was that shit? And I went outside and looked around. I mean, there was nothing that could indicate anything to me. I've seen them with other people, like at festivals. I've seen them not at festivals, just like around here in town. They're definitely they're there.
Yeah, I had one where the fear instance that I had was, so I lived on a lake, and like I had a circle of lights coming over top of the lake, and like, I mean, I could explain exactly how my house was and everything. It's like what my mind wants to do when I tell the story, but for the most part, I was looking out this back window, about to go to bed, laying in bed, and out my slider door, I see this circle of lights coming over top of the lake. And I first see it from the reflection on the lake, and then I see the actual thing in the sky, and it starts to come over top of it's coming towards me, and ends up going over top of my house, stops over top of my house, and I don't know, I'm missing a lot of the story here.
So he's told this
You're
story
confusing.
before.
You're messed to be up
I
with
messed
all
him up with
the
the cameras.
all the camera
See,
shit. I
the
just wanted to
orbs.
explain it to this one.
But
But so basically, a circle of lights came over top of my house. I watched it come over the lake towards me. I went outside thinking like, okay, cool, I'm gonna see this thing pass over. But at the same time, I'm thinking, I've already seen quite a few UFOs before that, but I'm thinking like, dope, this thing's going to go right over top of me. But what are the fucking chances? Like, cool, like this strange light right over top of me. I lived on Bostwick Lake in Rockford, seen tons of UFOs before that, really strange ones. And yeah, so this one was just a bunch of orange lights in a perfect circle, came over top of my house. And when it came over top of my house, it stopped over my house. And I came, so I'm looking underneath my deck, and I got a sensor light, like that's basically hiding under my deck with this thing above my house. And I look over, and the sensor light turns on me, and I'm the only thing illuminated underneath this thing. And so I ran inside because I was like kind of freaked out, like because I'm just like I'm like tractor beam distance from this thing. But it was yeah, it was happening to me a lot around those times. That's a really summed up story. I just didn't want to get into like the whole 15-minute, like every little bit of sensory information about the whole entire thing, which I usually do. So it like fucks me up not.
For what I seen, mine was I was going down the highway, and I heard that sound just like Blade said, and I look, and all of a sudden I could see in the sky there was just this black triangle, and it was a clear night sky, stars all over, you could see it. And I had a sunroof in my car, and I'm driving down, it's going over the highway, and I look up, and nothing, there was all black, totally black. And then just kept on whoop, 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 and went off, and that's what I seen. And it was definitely not from here.
Interesting. That's really cool. So, all right, one other one that I had.
One other one. I knew there were going to be more. I'm looking at him, and he's like chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
I'm
settling on it. But so I got 4 people. I'm in the middle of a lake on a pontoon boat. It's probably like 1 o'clock in the morning. We're all hanging out. We're not tripping. We're not tripping or anything, but we've been smoking some weed. And so it was me and my buddy Dane, and a couple other people. And so I'm watching the sky because I'm just always watching the sky. I've seen UFOs on that lake, and so I'm always watching. But I'm not going to be the one being like, everyone, I'm looking for UFOs all night. Like I'm just like, we're being cool, hanging out. I'm not going to be like the alien guy. But at the same time, I'm still gonna watch. I'm still watching the sky, and just trying to get used to everything that's up there. I end up seeing 2 really bright orbs, just like one like vertically from each other. So just 2 bright orbs in the sky. I'm watching that there. So after like an hour or 2, I'm like, okay, they're like settled there. I know that's something weird I've been paying attention to. Those aren't planets. I'm pretty sure they're not planets. So I tell my buddy Dane, I'm like, hey, keep an eye on these things. I don't know what they are. I don't even say aliens. I'm like, I don't even know what they are. Just like keep an eye on those things, see if they do anything weird. And so, as time goes by, these things start so you can imagine them like this, and they start moving like this, but they're moving so slowly. And so what's happening is these orange lights are creating a trail as they're kind of like moving in a circle towards each other, and they end up touching each other, and then there's a orange laser disc just floating in the sky. And like at this point, like when they were halfway through, like all 4 of us were watching this thing going, damn, okay, this is really weird. And I'm like, what do you guys think about this? Because I'm seeing UFOs all the time. I'm not going to be like aliens, but I'm like, what does this make you think of? Like, what do you guys think? I'll let you make your own decision. And it always just blow my mind because they'd be, I don't know. That's really weird. And like, I'm like, this is mind blowing. Like, I don't understand.
This is evidence.
I know you guys don't understand. Sure. To some people, it just doesn't matter. If they don't understand, they don't care. Like, but Dane thought it was crazy, but the 2 girls we were with they were like, wow, that's pretty crazy, but
cool, nerds.
Kinda. I'm like, this is my focus in the night.
You got any more mushrooms?
Like, you guys can swim home.
Just swim. Just go away. Just go. Let us watch our aliens.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right. So those are some of my stories.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Biomech.
We gotta we digress down the alien rabbit hole again. Have you done any alien Biomech tattoos lately?
I've done a couple cool alien tattoos. Yeah, I mean, most of my Biomech tattoos I would consider to be fairly alien.
My favorite.
I think when I come up with inspiration, I like to think of textures that I would think would be alien-esque.
My favorite alien tattoo I've done is it's just a little. It's like just a little element in the whole sleeve, but there is a little tiny flying saucer, and it's abducting a taco truck. Best idea ever. I didn't come up with it, but it's my favorite alien tattoo that I've done, and it's maybe like 2 inches.
Yeah,
Tiny little taco truck being sucked up into a laser beam.
that's awesome.
Well, like, can we
I kinda
cough
wanna do a
before we
bigger
laugh?
What?
Everybody was like, cough real fast, then laugh.
I didn't.
Fucking rippers, man.
Well, you know, talking about
It's funny
aliens,
watching everybody kind of take the same smoke break across the board.
Yeah, I had to do a dab, you know.
Yeah. Gabe, did you smoke at the same time?
We just smoked the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know you guys.
They have been. I've been watching them.
Oh, yeah. That's standard, man. You get way better conversations out of both of these guys.
Oh yeah.
For
for sure. Honestly, if I'm not high, I'm really, really in my head, and I don't talk a lot. It definitely like, not that I'm necessarily an introvert by any means, but it definitely makes like, it's like a communication lubricant. It makes the words come out.
I feel it. I ride that wave.
I think like, especially when I smoke with my clients, if they smoke, I feel like it kind of helps us like get on the same wavelength, and then that just kind of in turn leads to much better conversation, and then better conversation leads to like a more personalized tattoo. I don't know. I love it.
Yeah.
Be as high as I
Yeah, I'm
can.
definitely a social smoker. I enjoy that. Definitely like a communication lubricant on my end. I definitely don't feel like I need it, but I think it's like a lubricant, you know, it makes it even better.
Makes it even better. Okay.
Oh,
Does make
man.
everything better.
Yeah.
I'd like to describe myself as an enthusiastic cannabis enthusiast.
An enthusiastic enthusiast.
There we go. Yeah.
So I think we should kind of start like we did like a super quick introduction at the beginning. But I think we should kind of maybe like take turns like really talking about our tattoos now, because we've all got really amazing collections, and I think all of us have work that's like worth just kind of like bouncing back and forth and talking about.
You go first.
Well, actually, we are the Adam France official, unofficial fan club.
A good amount of us are
So
all
we
tattooed
all
by
have
Adam.
a lot of who hasn't been tattooed by Adam?
Me.
Me.
Oh, wait.
I haven't, but he was like my main inspiration, honestly, to get into bio.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Thanks, dude. Yeah.
I
Hey.
loved how it flowed with like the legs and stuff, and I had a clean leg, and I was like, I gotta do it. It was just
You
from like
got some
seeing.
skin left. We'll get together eventually on that one for us.
Definitely.
Yeah, I feel like
Adam gonna do a collab on you, buddy.
Yeah. Let's do it. I'm down for collabs with, pretty much any of these guys on any of you guys. So let me know.
any
Fuck
of
yeah.
these guys on any of you guys.
I like that.
Have all of us
Adam
had
Bryan collab here.
have all of us had collaborative bio work?
I haven't yet.
I have
I
not
have
either.
not.
No,
I haven't
No.
yet either.
I've never received that. Yeah, I've done it a
What?
lot. No, yeah, I've never.
Have you
It
done
looks
have you
fucking
done 2 days
miserable.
back to back?
Oh yeah, multiple consecutive days. Like,
I would
Yeah.
definitely take 2 days back to back over 1 day collaboratively.
dude, one
Yeah.
time,
Seriously?
Ty and I and fucking.
It was my torso, man.
Wrestling.
I did my ribs with Megan and Anam, so you know, and I would still do another collab.
I'd rather do 2 days back to back, or maybe like tag team rather than at the same time. It gets so tough for me. That like that's what
Oh,
it turns
gets-
into.
Well, you got color, I have black and gray, so it's a bit different, but to get that much work done in such a quick time, I don't know. I like that idea. I would do it again.
Now my leg collaboratively was not near as like traumatizing. I didn't have PTSD, and that was with Russ and Tofi, and they're both really like they're not the lightest handed, but they're both very efficient the way that they put ink in. That wasn't near as traumatizing as any of the sessions on my chest, and like I felt like you guys babied me so much. Ugh, I can't imagine if I hadn't been babied and going through that process. Like I see like how other people get tattooed and the process that other people go through, you know, like when I see like somebody laying there and there are like 4 artists working on them at a time and they're just laying there like meat, and I can't even wrap my head around it. Like I feel like I had to be babied to get through that 2 artists at once, period. But like 2 days back to back, I can like mentally, like, even though I'm defeated, I can just sit there a lot easier that second day.
Okay, go.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
your chest is hard to deal with to begin with, let alone have 2 people
Two
on it.
people, yeah, fuck.
Well, I
Chest
don't know.
hurt.
Maybe I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but like once I was committed, I couldn't uncommit. So
Yeah,
like I signed up for it.
yeah, you go through it.
Well, you know,
Just
as
find
an
the
artist,
strength.
we kind of figure out, I think, like ways to try to assist that and ease, knowing that 2 people are going to be dealing with the same tissue. I mean, like, Ty and I have even made ongoing jokes at this point between each other about how to handle the skin while we're working with it. Just little like quips that we make at each other because we've done it enough times together that
Mm-hmm.
it's become kind of this, you know, kind of good cop, bad cop kind of thing at times too, you know, where the one person's kind of giving it a little bit more punishment accidentally.
I've actually talked about this before. For me, it was very much so going into my chest. Adam had already. I don't think my leg was completed, but we were well into my leg sleeve. So like, you know, after like 4 years on a project and seeing each other every month, you know, we get to know each other really well, and I was very comfortable with Adam. So unfortunately, that meant Adam was always like, "It's gonna be okay, dude." Like he was always the one like soothing me, while Ty is like not terrorizing, but like just tattooing me in the most brutal areas. So like it was definitely good cop, bad cop. Like I never had like my palms don't sweat when I see Adam, but when I see Ty in person, now that my chest is finished, not anymore. But like there for like the couple years that it was in progress, every time I would see you, my hands would sweat and my heart would start beating faster. And it was real. Like you're not an intimidating person. Like you're always happy and you're always just like friendly and like, you know, just beaming positivity. But to like have my heart start racing and my palms sweat is a really funny, awkward kind of.
Did that
like,
happen to you too,
I'm
Brian?
not ready yet.
Body's just trained. See the torture.
Who, me?
Yeah, Brian.
You
You have a funny story about that, right?
yeah, we've actually talked about that a little bit. The intimidation factor. You mean tattoo
When
my
what?
You mean tattoo my butt?
Yeah, when I was tattooing your butt.
That's not a good spot either.
Oh
Yeah, I'm not
I know.
looking forward to it.
I'm sorry, Fawn.
It's okay. I love everything that you did on me, and like the project's over.
PTSD, yeah.
The PTSD is over with. I don't have any more trauma on that area to look forward to. Like all that's left on my torso is my belly. So
I feel like we share a lot of clients. Like Ty and I have a few that we've worked on together. We have a few that, you know, one person's done something major, and then I've done a different region or tied into it, something major near it. And I definitely have acquired that same fear because I want Ty to do my other foot and ankle. Guy did one whole leg to the toes. And from Dexter and from Fawn and from others, you know, I feel like Ty really gets job done. You know, the job, man.
Oh, is that true, Jay?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't really remember what it's like to get tattooed by other people though, because I've only been getting tattooed by Ty for like the last 5 years.
As a tattooer, what those few minutes of having like the bottom of my sternum, like at the solar plexus, those few minutes, it really made me appreciate each and every stroke I make with a tattoo machine as an artist, because every single moment of pain is real for the person receiving it.
Yeah.
So just experiencing that, I think, made me a more empathetic tattooer. Like I felt like I was empathetic, but like experiencing that extreme of a sensation and having to like endure it and know that it's with purpose and intention, it made me so much more mindful of every single, like I'm being efficient with each mark that I make, not the time that I'm taking. Like with each mark, make it count. You know, it made me not a wishy-washy tattooer. It made me like, okay, this color goes here. I'm going to put it there the first time. And then the next color will go next to it in one pass. And it just made me appreciate like every ounce of pain. Like that's what I budget. It's not time. It's not money. It's how am I going to work with this person's pain and get the job done and get it done well, but efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
Totally changed the way I work.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. My chest was definitely one of those for me too. When Nathan did that and when he went over my nipple, and for sure, every stroke, every little stroke, every little everything, I felt it all. It was the longest 30 seconds of my life.
You mentioned those regions, and I just relive them every time now. Oh,
just remember the sharpness, just like a lightning bolt, like just sitting there like a lightning bolt. That's a tattoo machine.
I'll get all of my nipples tattooed again if you just bring back tattoo conventions today.
Hey, hey.
Hey, Adam, remember that time when you were burnt out on conventions?
Yeah, it's, you know, I still kind of am, but I'm not at the same time, you know.
Now you miss them.
I do miss them, but, you know,
Yeah.
I've missed them when I didn't do them out of choice too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But do you miss the conventions or do you just miss your friends?
Oh, I mean, I can.
Well, both, you know, like, you know, missing it is the whole package, you know. I feel like client element, the weirdness of it, the traveling, the spending too much on a hotel, put yourself in an area where you might or might not make money, and all that fun stuff, you know. Like there's a lot of like outreach to really make a convention booth do well. And at this point, you know, I'm bringing all these products and, you know, books and extra prints and all, you know, things I want to try to sell on site. You know, it becomes a lot more, you know, excess that I just have to plan for ahead of time. So I tried to, you know, even before COVID, limit it down. But man, if they came back today, I'd be hitting everything Troy Temple and Durham have going immediately.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. I feel the same. Definitely. I miss it. I miss the community. I miss being able to just have a booth, you know, selling my stuff, tattooing. I can't wait to have the podcast while we do it.
Man, I can't wait to see other people's amazing tattoos again in person, you know.
Right.
that's what I like to do.
Yeah,
See
my
that.
favorite. Yeah.
One of the things that I love about working with Derb is being able to judge at shows, being able to get all up, like get your face right up in those fresh tattoos and steal all the It's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Did you get into judging at all? Do you enjoy doing that? Adam, Ty, either of you?
I've never judged, I don't think.
No?
Stresses me
I
out.
don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like put on the spot in my mind, you know, because I'm like, what if I like don't like, you know what I mean? Like, what if I don't do it right or pick the right thing at the right time? Or, you know, this guy finds me in the wings of the building and he's like, did you mark a 3 on my thing? You know, it should have been a 7 or something. You know, I just,
right.
you know, I would be the bystander, you know, let my clients enter and be a part of that scenario of it. But the few times I've judged, I feel a little stressed and I'm like, that's a lot. all on me right now, and these other two humans, like, woohoo, shit, here we go. You know,
I guess I never looked at it like that. I would just put my like critique hat on and tried to be like non-biased and just like look at things for what they were. And I don't know.
That's hard to
I
do
feel
though.
like you were
I've
doing it.
judged. I mean, not the bias part, but not because if you've seen enough tattoos in that, you know who's done them.
Mm-hmm.
That, yeah.
You do.
Yep. Oh yeah. It's hard not to like, just point
It's
that out.
not.
Keep a tab on like, ooh, damn, that's such and such is. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the hard thing to keep separate from when you judge it. To me.
Oh
Yeah, Todd, you've judged a few
Yep.
times.
Yep. Golden State.
Okay, nice. Fawn, have you?
Yeah, I've judged at Hell City a few times. So like for when you're within a category, it's a lot easier to judge. When it gets really hard is when you're looking at like tattoo of the day or like tattoo of the whole show, because it's so many genres. And that's where it's like, oh man, like they're both impeccable and technically good, and I can't find a single flaw in any of them, and I know they're gonna last, and I know they're gonna heal well, and I know they're gonna stand the test of time, like, but they're totally different styles. That's when it gets really hard. But when it's like let's say we're looking at, we'll just use like realistic black and gray, for example. Let's say we're looking at a whole bunch of realistic black and gray pieces. You once you've been tattooing long enough and you've looked at enough tattoos, you see how things age. You can like, this might look the best. Like if you're have a hard time deciding between a couple of tattoos, like if they're both in, dead bang ringers, I'm going to look at which one's going to like hold up the best. That might be my deciding factor to be non-biased.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess I just kind of have this built-in checklist that it's like, it's got to be good today, but it's also got to be good 10 years from today. So when you have that in the back of your mind, it kind of like separates the pack in a different way, I think. What do you think, Todd?
Well, best of days, that's the tough one. Because, like you said, it's different styles. You got to judge how technical they did. And again, I'm not an artist, so, but I do know how a well-made tattoo versus one that isn't going to hold up. So I can say that at least. And then you got to put away your own personal bias of what you got on you. I got a lot of realistic stuff on me. So, everyone will look at you going, you're only going to judge that style. So, and it's not true. Because the day that we judged best of day, we ended up doing a neo-traditional for best of day. It just stood out over all of the rest, and it was just soundly done. So again, you have 3 other judges with you. It's just not your own opinion. So you have to remember that too. So, and again, we talk, that's the only one time where the judges probably will talk with each other, because it's so close to pick 'em. Most of the time it ends up being a tie anyways when you judge it. So you have to talk about it, and then you decide from that aspect.
It'll go from like comparing perfect to perfect, but like this one maybe took a little bit longer, or this one maybe took more planning, or
right. And decide all that in the 5 to 10 seconds that you're looking at it.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I guess for me it would be, because you bring them up sometimes and you look at them and that. So in the end, it have to be like what stands out the most between the two. I mean, placement, everything, that's where that all comes into it. And
Yeah.
maybe I'm wrong, but that's for me, that's what it is. I mean, how does it on the body? Does it, you know, it's a wow factor at the end.
Yeah, right.
It really
right.
is.
No, it makes
Sometimes
sense.
it
I
does
totally- I
just simply
feel
come
that.
down to I like this one better.
Yeah, like
There's just something about this one I like better.
Sometimes you know it when you see it.
Yeah.
You know when it's not just because I like it, because this is a well done tattoo.
And
Yeah.
And then when you're
magic.
looking at it, usually the other things align as well. Like
Mhm.
usually they're placed right, because if it's not placed right, then something, it just looks off. You know what I mean? It
Mhm.
just looks natural.
Yeah.
Something's off if there's not a good placement.
Mhm.
And so all those things, when they align, that's when you're like, wow.
You know, it's
So-
funny that you say that, just because like I love and appreciate bio so much is probably why I do this. But when I do judge, like let's say we're looking at a piece on the arm or a piece on the leg, the first thing I'm going to do is I'll take their hand or wrist and I'll bend. You know, I want to see how it like moves. You know, I want to see how everything like gracefully like moves with the arm. Because I think that makes a difference. You know, that's the tell if something is placed well or not, is how does it move? You know, it's not just applying a sticker. It's how am I going to make this, you know, belong? It should belong there. It shouldn't be like awkwardly. I don't know. I don't
Right.
think tattoos
Belong
should be
and enhance.
awkwardly like just applied. They should be, yeah, they should look like they're supposed to be there.
At least
Thank
those
you
are the
for
kinds
sharing
I
that
like.
with
The,
us.
at least those are the kinds I like the most.
Oh,
Oh, Eon is dying for it.
producer's got to pee.
Producer, how you doing? How you doing, Mr. Eon?
The animals make an appearance again.
All right. One moment.
So back to bio. We keep digressing. So we've got a lot of atom pieces in here. We've got a lot of tie pieces in here.
Well, you got Guy on you.
Oh, we've got a lot of guy in the collection, like
Mhm.
amongst us as well. Does that,
At least the tattooers here will have some guy.
all the tattooers too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool. Ty,
That's
what do you? What is Ty? What do you have? Where has Guy tattooed you?
My
do you do?
left leg. My left leg.
The entire leg?
Yeah.
Nice.
You got Carson Hill on you too, right?
Mhm.
Can we see that?
Yeah. Give me a sec.
What's up, Ty? What's up? I'm back. I'm back, bitches. Ow!
Oh,
hey,
Oh, hey.
hey, what up, Brian?
Are you done?
Good.
All right.
That's
Take the mask off.
you're weird.
So I don't.
There it is.
Oh shit, there it is.
Yeah.
Ty.
Yeah.
Oh, it just has your name up instead of your face. Oh, there you are.
Where
I just read it. Yeah. Remember that time we went together to go get I have a Carson sleeve. This one. Yeah, we went and had a session done together. And then while we were there, we did a 4-way collaboration on a kid.
Yeah, that was nuts.
With Carson.
Seriously?
A 4-day collaboration. You guys both did?
Yeah. So when we showed up,
And the fucking dogs got out, like Haku,
Oh my
Rango,
God,
and
dude.
fucking Mackie. They almost got fucking thrown in the pound and shit.
No
That's,
way.
Yeah, it's fucking sketchy as shit.
that sucked. Yeah.
It was Rango's fault.
We figured it out. We got him. We saved him. We rescued. We got bonded out of jail. Those dogs.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, when we showed up there, like Carson and his homie were about to start a 2-day, like back-to-back thing on this kid as a collaboration, and then he was like, "Oh shit,
It was
Adam and Ty." What was it?
Kenny Morris. He's actually out here now.
Kenny, yeah,
Yeah.
Morris.
He used to. Yeah, he used to work at Roman's place way back in the day.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. I kind of lost touch. Like after that weekend, I don't think I ever really like connected hard
Dude,
enough. Yeah, and
We
then
used to-
the other kid, that we tattooed after that, stayed in touch. The Fresno angle, but yeah, it was really cool to be able to do that four-way kind of tag. It's now your turn, now your turn, now your turn, now your turn. You know, it's just whoever was up next, you know, and that's who took the open seat. And that was really cool. We accomplished a lot. You know, I don't even know if we have two very good photos of that. I know Carson does.
Maybe, yeah.
That's really cool.
Straight on ones. and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's a cool story.
And then we got our arms worked on back to back the next 2 days by Carson. Carson really worked his dick off that week.
And then after you left, I tattooed him.
Yeah, that's right. No, I was there for the knee. I sat in. We rode together because you left the coffee pot on, my dude. Remember, we had to turn around and go all the way back to Phoenix after like 3 hours because Ty thought that we left the coffee pot on. So we went to check.
It was because we ate mushrooms the night before.
Safety first.
We're just trying to get that Biomech inspiration. That's all.
Exactly. There you go. That's where the inspiration comes from. Mushrooms.
No, not always.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
But
Kidding.
I've gained a lot of inspiration that I've applied to Biomech from mushrooms.
They don't not give you inspiration.
Right. Let's say that.
Right.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
They're
not a
what I was
hindrance.
trying to say.
They're not a hindrance.
I'm sure.
It helps. Try it if you feel like it. If you don't really feel like it, don't. But if you do, you should.
No peer pressure.
Tattooing Nathan Marty, I was able to, ahead of time, we discussed it, and I did one of his sessions on his like green RoboMech arm while I was on about 2 grams of cubensis psilocybin. And it was intense. It made me really understand his empathy, and what he was going, my empathy level just went through the roof to where I was so sympathetic to what he was dealing with that it made me turn the needle differently and adjust how I was like coming at his tissue to where if it hurt for him intensely, I felt it in me and I was like, whoa, can't do this, And
too much.
Yeah, I just got to a point where I was like, okay, I learned a lot there from what certain things do to the client while I'm doing them with my hand, and I was just off just a bit. I was able to click the dial a couple clicks to a point where it works way better for me on client comfort and how the machine to angle to grip kind of ratio can be inserted into the skin and done at a consistent level. And I was really feeling inconsistencies very strongly that session. It was a shorter session, obviously. Okay, got to a point where I was like, okay, man, I think that's enough. But yeah, very experimental and something that actually taught me and him, I think, something about just how to be a little bit more delicate but still get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have you ever been tattooed on a psychedelic?
Yeah.
How was that?
You definitely start to work on your breathing routines and things like that a lot better and get through it in a different method. Depending on the psychedelic, you have to adjust a lot of other things, to be able to maintain. And then toss in the fact that the person tattooing you might be on the same amount of whatever psychedelic.
Yeah, right.
It's a roller coaster at times, where everyone needs to be prepared ahead of time that it might get called sooner or we might go 10 hours longer here. We'll just see how it goes,
Oh, I couldn't do that. No way. Mm-mm.
Yeah, see, I can't really. I've done psychedelics many times. I just have never gotten tattooed.
Yeah, me too. I don't think I could.
I just feel like it just wouldn't be very pleasurable, but I don't know. I mean, tattooing is just not pleasurable at all. But like, just
exactly.
the sensitivity and the vulnerability of the mind, like in general, when you're in a state like that, is while feeling kind of the most pain anything's going to really give you in life.
Have any of you guys actually experienced like hallucinations or anything like that from the pain of like tolerating a tattoo? Like, have any of you been pushed to that point where you have visuals?
No. Hear from these collectors.
No.
No, I mean, the most that's ever happened to me is I've thrown up a few times after tattoo sessions when they went longer, but
I remember that shit.
No, I went into shock after one session.
Did you?
Hey guys.
Mhm.
I passed out at a UDF after one session with Adam. That was pretty brutal. Like the last thing I remember seeing was the Lay's potato chips. And then the next thing I saw was a group of people standing around me. That was crazy.
Oh. I don't even remember you telling me about this.
Yeah, I mean, luckily it was one of those sessions that my little sister came down with me and like took my car and like ran around town while I was getting worked on. So she was driving. So, but it was just crazy. Like we stopped because I could feel my blood sugar was dropping. Like on the way home, like the tattoo session was fine, but on the way home it was like I'm getting a little like weak feeling. I need some sugar or something. So we stopped at UDF for milkshakes and I was waiting in line to pay. Like, I just needed like one more minute.
Can I just eat this now? Well, give me the UPC code. We'll beep it in.
But as soon as like I came to, I was like, I just got tattooed. I need some orange juice. And somebody gave me a little bottle of orange juice. And like, I was instantly back to normal. But it was like, man, they probably think I'm strung out on something, nodding out in the middle of the checkout line.
Yeah.
I was more embarrassed.
No,
like,
you just got tattooed.
I know they're going to think the worst. But it was.
Yeah, he saved me one time with peanut M&Ms.
What was that?
Dude, like this one time I was passed out when I was getting tattooed by a guy, and he like gave me a bunch of peanut M&Ms.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I about passed out while I was getting tattooed by a guy. I actually was getting visuals when I was passing out. It was really wild. Nothing like really crazy, but it was the first day. We were on the middle of the spine, so we were just like hour 4 or 5, just center spine. And I'm looking out his window and I'm looking at all the light, and all of a sudden it was getting really dark and then really light and really dark and really light. And like I was starting to go in and out, and like I passed out a few times in life, but I've never passed out from getting tattooed before. But I knew it was kind of coming on. I could feel the sensations and stuff, but I was just like, guy, my lights are flashing. I gotta stop. Like, I don't know. You can keep tattooing, but I might pass out. It's like,
Dude, I had to make him
keep
give me the
going.
bucket.
That would definitely be a terrible idea.
Oh, hey.
Hey,
guys, like I remember.
how you guys doing? Yeah.
Hey, man.
Good, man.
I'm handling a cup of tea and doorknobs at the same time, so pardon my awkwardness. I'm putting the kid to bed in a few minutes, but I just wanted to drop in and say, hey, I've been listening in a little bit, and let me get into a better lit space. How you guys been?
Good,
It's
man.
been too long. There's been no traveling and collaborating or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Very, very little.
Yeah.
Doing our best, because of the lack of that, we're all stuck at the house. I think just making what we can.
Yeah.
Actually,
That's pretty much what it is.
since this-
Those long distance paint collabs have been helping.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
More of
Since
the.
all this started, coming to see Adam and coming to see Guy are the only trips out of town I've had up until Florida.
Oh wow.
I miss traveling so much. It becomes a chore to be on the road 1 week of every month, but like I realize how much I look forward to it now. Like I can't wait to get back in the routine of just like going somewhere 1 week of every month, like whether it's for work or not.
Mm-hmm.
You think it'll ever be normal again?
I can't wait for that.
I
Definitely.
really miss I felt like I didn't realize how much I like enjoyed like being out on the road and like seeing everyone and visiting friends in different places and stuff, and like this really shed a light on that, like how much I really look forward to that and how bad this whole thing sucks.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
wait to get
I
back
figured
to
that
it.
out last weekend when I was in Vegas and finally sat down and playing some poker.
Being a
It's
full
like,
year.
wow, I miss this.
Now that it's a full year.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
The lost year. Yeah. I wonder what it'll be like when we look back at this, what we remember it for, I mean, just in terms of our community and, how it affected us directly. I mean, obviously
we had to take breaks from work, but you know, there were definitely other things that happened in between, you know. Some of them good, you know. I think a lot of us probably felt like we aged a little faster during this time, but maybe that's just me having a 10-year-old in the house. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh man,
I'm not complaining. Life is good, you know, and having a 10-year-old is amazing, and she's an amazing artist, and we're working on our book project now, and we've been working on it for 5 years, and hopefully we'll publish it this year.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
But man, just making art for art's sake became much more valuable, I guess, to me. And so, you know, of course, those collaborations were really important. You know, a couple of them are pretty close to completion now, and there's a few that got done that are, you know, it's just real highlights of the year. But man, I miss all you guys. This is it's cool to be able to drop in like this, and I'm sorry I can't hang out longer. We got to do more of these. We had an actual like get together and collab party that a lot of you attended a month or two ago. We talked about doing another one of those. So yeah, let's get that going sometime sooner than later.
For sure, that sounds cool.
Yeah, happy to jump in on that for sure. Give me a little heads up. I heard about that one at the last minute. I was still working so hard.
Yeah, that's usually my case too. Is I'm working when they pop up, and I realize that they're coming. I gotta. Yeah.
We need to just set it up so that we can beam in while we're working, because usually we're working on things that apply to whatever's going on.
Yeah, no kidding.
Our machines are all quiet now.
Yeah, it's really good.
Show us how it's done.
What's that?
Good to see Guy in here, man. Super awesome.
Yeah, man.
Adam, when's the last time we were in the same room? It's maybe, was it the New York thing, or it's been since then, hasn't it?
One time at Hell City, we did a nice hangout since that. Yeah, with the I had the class downstairs, and you had the book ready. The Biomech Encyclopedia was ready for Hell City that time. So yeah,
that's right. We had our 2 copies that people could look at. Yeah,
like the prototype. Everybody was ready for that thing. Super awesome. And like that's another thing too, you know, like he was asking her, you know, Fawn asked earlier, like a good way to try to brush up on like all the ways of how this comes together, you know, is really getting your hands on that thing at this point. If you're just some like, what is Biomech? You know, it's definitely one of the things that, you know, I hand my clients at times, and I'm like, dude, just invest in this a bit, and you know, turn to the pages.
You know, there's 150 artists in it, and you know, including some classics like Giger and Beksinski, and there's some of it is just straight up art, a lot of it collaborative. You know, a lot of people that are, you know, on this Hollywood squares of Biomech right now. I'm getting yelled at by my daughter to wrap things up. And then there's a lot of actual tutorials, you know, digital drawing, and you know, all kinds of things like that. Hang on, I will.
Hi, get ready.
Got a sore throat with all this yelling. Hang on one second.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Hey, give me 1 minute, okay?
Man, you're gonna have to be ready for that.
Yeah, it's soon, like 3 weeks.
Yeah, man. Awesome.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Your moment is coming right up, man.
It's right around the corner.
Best thing you'll ever do. Not necessarily the easiest, but you know what, dude, you are going to be the best dad.
Oh, thanks, man.
I think you got the right temperament for it, and you know, it's probably going to be less challenging for you than it is for me. For some reason, I just think that.
No, it's like that for every dad.
Right.
Yeah. Trust me.
You know,
I mean, my kids are 30 now, but we've all gone through that.
I'm just imagining Ty having more chill jeans. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, good luck with that. And I'm gonna hit it. Everyone, hey, thanks for
Guy, thank you for
having me
joining.
on, and
Yeah.
Stefan and Jordan, thank you so much for hosting
Oh,
these. It's awesome.
thanks
that
for
you're doing
joining
this
us,
every
man.
week. And
Thanks for
it's part of your
thanks for giving us the platform to do this on.
Yeah, we definitely
Yeah.
appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Well,
See you, buddy.
everyone
Glad to
here
see
is
ya.
invited
Thank
to.
you.
Everyone here is invited to host stuff here. Anytime you want, just hit me up.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
Awesome.
Have a great
Let's
night.
plan something.
Bye, Guy.
Look, it's Brian's beautiful face.
Hello.
Yeah, look at that.
He's here.
Back, baby.
Yeah, real quick while we're in transition, I do want to just remind everybody that the 20th, which is coming up in 2 Sundays, is going to be one of these art jams that's going to be worth marking off. Android Jones will be doing some graphics, live graphics, and then Aja Lou's doing the tunes. Okay, I'm gonna back off now. That's on the 20th.
Like, is it Aja with like Peking Goddess Collective, or is it just him doing his thing?
It'll be him kind of doing his thing mixed with Android, right? So he's coming up with something
That's so dope.
that's gonna be out of
That's
control.
awesome. Dude, yeah. Okay, so 20th, what time?
I think like 8. I think 8 Eastern.
Okay, yeah.
It'll be in
definitely.
the. We'll post it up in the app. Like I guess by the end of by tomorrow. It's because it's coming right up. It's the equinox. It's a Saturday, the 20th.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah. We know what's up then.
Get your projector out and do something at the shop.
Yeah. Get
Yeah.
the big projectors
Oh,
out. Get
yeah.
your
Out
speakers
in the warehouse.
Yep, I definitely think we should definitely do
I think
that.
that would be fun.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I play a lot of his music. Actually, since I had my head tattooed by Philip,
I think
there
that's
was a soundtrack on like one of those old like fucking white brick iPods one day, and we were like, "What is?" I'm like, what's on that? What's this music that we're all trying to figure out?" He was like, "It's my brother's music. You'll never get it. It's super hard to find." We're all like, "Okay, right on." And then it was probably 4 years later before I was able to locate the Peking Goddess Collective and realize that it was Aja's music, that we had listened to that day, that had finally made it to like an album with his friend, And so I just, there's only like 12 tracks or something, I think, that even exist.
You could
So-
find them on YouTube now.
Oh shit!
Search
Okay.
for Aja Lou. There's a bunch of stuff, and including guitar work. We're all psyched. We've been looking for some tunes for like the new Reinventing branding and everything that's coming out, and
Super awesome.
all of a sudden the ideas and the connections, and I've been working out on his stuff for like 2 or 3 weeks now because I refound him online, and check it out, Aja Lou.
Awesome, man.
on the
Cool.
YouTubes.
Oh yeah. A perfect like connection to the tattoo community too. Super awesome.
Serendipitous. Meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that was awesome that Guy got to beam in with us for a little bit.
For sure.
Brian, have you been worked on by Guy? You have, right?
He's got a shit ton of shit.
Yeah. What all do you have from Guy?
Oh man, he did my left arm and my chest panel, and then him and Russ did collaboration on my whole right leg.
I've always been jealous about that collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. It was like, I think it was 3 different sessions, and with both of them tattooing simultaneously 2 days in a row.
Yeah. Trooper.
Man.
Yeah, live to tell the tale.
What's your favorite part? What was your favorite part of the leg?
Favorite part of the
Favorite.
The knee. Always the knee.
Right where your butt meets your thigh.
It's the worst. Oh god, it's the worst.
Mm.
I remember like, I was,
Inner
like
thigh.
putting my leg up. You know what I mean? Oh my god, man.
I feel like awkwardly, Russ has had me in some of the same positions.
Yeah, actually that was Russ.
Awful. It's like, okay, how do you want me? Okay, all right. And somehow it's like, okay, that was a really effective way to stretch the skin.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, Guy and I went down
This is it, eh?
Yeah.
What is this?
This is a time lapse
is
of
a-
it.
This is your leg.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's
This is actually an hour long chunk of it.
Yeah, we were up at Off the Map. Yeah, the first 2 sessions.
Oh, that was your leg. I remember watching this. Yeah, I
Mhm.
seen all this.
Yeah, that's great.
33,000 views back in the day.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back when people gave
I
a shit
seen it.
about really awesome tattoos.
What was it, 2015 there?
Just repost it, dude. Fucking put that shit back up. This thing's amazing.
That's right.
Yeah, we should.
I've always been jealous of this collaboration. This is probably this probably inspired me to want to get a leg sleeve.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that use of like the geometric pattern inside of that stuff, just like I was like, oh my God, they're geniuses.
I'm making my palms sweat thinking about that. Fucking me up.
Yes, we talked about that earlier too, man. That's that like what is it like? It's like FOMO, but for tattooing, and you don't want to have it.
Right. Yeah. Good stuff.
Oh man, those big long sessions with 2 people at a time. None of my sessions with Ty and Adam were long. I think honestly, maybe the session at Hell City was the longest, but they were all like in the ballpark of 5 or 6 hours. None of them were super long. But the session with Russ and Tofi on my leg, that was 9.5 hours of both of them, just like full bore.
So like 18 and some hours.
In real life, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But like, honestly, like up until about hour 8, it was totally tolerable. It was like that last hour and a half where it was like, all right, I'm ready to be done. I'm exhausted. I got no fight left in me. I got no gas in the tank. I got nothing. Those last few hours it was like just the last hour and a half. It got me. But up until then, I don't think I could have sat like that for any other part of the body though. It's just the upper thigh. You know, it's like, I mean, the whole outer upper. I don't know if I can get a good angle. Should I take my pants off?
Take them off, yeah.
Okay, yeah. We got
You want to work that camera?
We got this one right here.
Ty, I told you, man, we should have just came at this shit with our shirts off.
Right?
Whoa.
Damn, dude. Wow.
Always forget you have that Tofi piece. And that is so sick.
Face is so good.
Puppy dog.
The tattoo's cool, but who's this dog?
Yeah, the dog's like, what the fuck, dude?
That's
Hi, buddy.
Hi,
buddy.
That looks like Adam.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I think I did that.
That looks like you did that.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, that's me.
That was a betting man.
That's one of my favorites, man. Like I actually have a lot of people like kind of ask for that. You know, they'll bring me that photo. You know, you guys ever have that where like they bring a photo of someone else's totally complete piece, and I'm about that. You know, just I'm gonna definitely take it in a similar but way different direction at the same time. You know, when I actually make it for them. Yeah, they show me Fawn's leg a lot. A lot of people kind of want me to.
That's so dope.
Through my
Really
brain.
good to see it. Fonzo's got pants on.
Well, short season is coming up. I used to
Gotta show
never
it off.
ever wear shorts, but now that I have like leg tattoos, every chance I have that I can tolerate being in shorts, like you know, I'm cold all the time, so it's a limited window. But
I've always really liked the way, Adam, that you did that like Nautilus type shape on your hip right there, Fawn, on that leg. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that actually is just one of my favorite shapes. So that kind of, I saw another piece that Adam did where it was like a fractal kind of daisy, and it was like, can we do that with like alien plant textures?
Dude, like,
Yeah, you did like a great I don't know, just the way you interpreted that and the way it caught the movement of her muscle structure right there up at the top is just I've always really liked that piece.
Thank you, dude. Yeah, they were flashing images of some of Jay's stuff earlier, and I want to say like his stomach kind of has that like Fibonacci conch shell kind of swirl effect. It's kind of based off of the same mathematics, you know. That, you know, I saw you utilizing. I think his like belly button or something there.
His poor little tum tum.
Oh yeah, it's super awesome. Yeah, that's the Fibonacci. You know, it's like it's definitely well ingrained in a lot of us and a lot of other plants and critters and stuff that I definitely love to look at in nature. So I don't know, Guy's like a big fan of the growth of succulents too. He's got a lot of those. So do we. I can see like a bunch right here just next to me. They grow in a Fibonacci kind of shape, where it all spirals out. The Pacific Northwest up here has all these ferns. So they grow in perfect little Fibonacci when they sprout. It's just,
and when they curl over like that or whatever.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And then they unfold and stuff. Yeah.
Super crazy, yeah. So I don't know. I like to use it sometimes in tattoos.
Super bio.
Sometimes. My hand is also Biatom. It's the one I see the most, but I forget about it. It's also a nautilus. It's like a space nautilus.
Oh yeah.
You never noticed?
Yeah.
I love that.
Nautilus.
Yeah. See the like.
Oh yeah, I see the
wisps?
spiral in there.
I don't know if you can tell.
Boom.
A little bit.
Tesla ball and fawn hand.
Fawn hand.
Dude, remember that time that we bought a Tesla ball together, Ty, and then we had to share it like a baby back and forth until it sits on my shelf?
Yeah, I vaguely remember that. Thing is how I don't have it, nor have I.
It's mine. I have custody.
I know, man. You kidnapped our child. It's fucked up, man.
I'll send you a picture later of it.
Thanks.
I was hanging out.
You guys, you guys hanging out at the beach or having a catch or whatever.
Start a social media page just for the plasma ball.
Oh, man. It was a steal, man.
We're all so weird. We started out talking about how we've all got these like things in common. We're all just weirdos. We're all space weirdos. Todd's pretty weird too.
I got my own thing.
Todd's super weird.
But
That's super
to me,
weird.
but Biomech's always had that sci-fi part to it too. Like power. The glow to me has always been the power source of that Biomech. When people add glow,
Right, those glowing light sources.
yeah,
Yeah, I love those.
I
Love
do
those.
too.
Definitely like a power source, like energy source in the tattoo. I like that.
Yep, it's my favorite.
I like to use it. I like to do that.
Yeah, or we're like lately I've been getting into like where there's a suggested power source, but it's so deep that all they use is teal or red or tangerine or something beyond this other Biomech structure,
Mm-hmm.
It's like the suggestibility of those things is something I've been like, whoa, kind of really blown away with lately, because that's a whole other language to be able to look at it like it's something that you don't even have to build the shiny thing for me to think that there's something just shiny as hell deep in there or something,
Yeah.
I don't know, one of the more recent epiphanies I had, and it's not just for like bio, but just any of my artwork in general. I've always had the habit of like starting the background of a painting and then just kind of like losing interest before I even build the focal point. And one of the more recent epiphanies I've had over the last few years was that like the space can be the focal point, like the energy can be the space. So like as I play with like my landscapes and stuff now that I've been tattooing and painting, a lot of the times it's like the space itself is the focal point. Like I don't have to build this other thing. I just want you to like look at it and then ask questions. I just want you to believe that space exists. You don't have to necessarily like know where it is or how to get there, but you just have to kind of believe it exists.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Space out.
Yeah, I feel that though. That's what I try to do. Try to make that abstract stuff real.
So like can I pose a question?
Please.
Absolutely.
So I feel like, a lot of us as like creators think like, well, this is what people are going to want to know, what me to make, and what, should be out there by, the brain that they expect this to compute and spit something out for them, as an artist, but we have some awesome collectors in the room. I feel like people that, are definitely well versed and sitting very well, and then also, kind of doing the research and selecting like good artists and understanding like kind of almost like what the next cool thing would almost be in a way, without even understanding that. And then kind of the fashion that we would, as creators, so I'm kind of curious like to hear from these guys, like maybe like what's missing from Biomech, like what's something that like you want to see like more of that people are doing less of, but like really like, puts a nail for that idea or something.
Crystalline material, like crystals. Like
more crystal
Jordan's
mech.
back. Jordan, don't you have sort of like that on your back piece?
I don't know if it's quite crystalline.
It's like a metallic
Kinda.
fluid, kind of.
Ooh. It's a chair.
Yeah.
So there's this big black.
It is a chair.
Here's this camera right here.
Oh shit. This.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
It's like
color.
iridescent, opalescent, metallic.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. I think Adam uses a lot of crystal elements in his work quite often. Like if you get into a lot of the robot structures, there'll be
Definitely not enough. You can never have enough crystals.
never have enough crystals.
Well, I mean, like right in front of me, like I'm just sitting around them right now. They're just everywhere. Like, I have like crystals right here, like right now. There's like fluorites just like chilling and shit. Like you can't have enough of it.
Adam, I got this at that shop that burnt down like 3 days after we left.
Yep.
So happy to get this piece of fluorite over here. I mean, this whole shelf I have right here was all the ones I got there.
They got a new location. It's really cool. We went there a couple times since, and they're thriving. Man. Super awesome. Some of my wife's up in there, which was like the only art they have is her art, just hanging up in there. Super awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool to see those guys like back on track and kind of a better spot.
I was super bummed out when I heard that they got swallowed up by the
Phoenix Stars. Really, they just devastated so much.
Didn't they get looted too?
They were looted, and they had a few $1 million worth of product that were lost either in just popping in the fire. Because most like silicon-based things just pop like salt, and they just turn to dust. So everything else melted, and then everything else like turned into stuff that they were able to like get back from the police, and so now they've restocked with a bunch of other stuff, and it's nice to see them doing a lot. But that whole area is definitely it's got a few years before it's going to change back, and it's taught us a lot about like just preserving the nature that we get our references and stuff from. All these beautiful places we've been able to go and hike, and seeing them the next season just black, it's lost open territory where it would have been brave to have tried to even walk 10 feet into it the season before.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Trees that were just hundreds, if not 1,000 years old.
Yeah, a lot of life lost, a lot of feelings towards that kind of stuff that just makes you realize like how good you got it in some areas where if the plants are thriving and you got a good environment that isn't really burning every other season or something, like it's doing pretty good, and if not, like we need to put some help towards the other areas that are really losing it every other time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's cool to know that like pine cones, it's something I use for like Biomech and stuff a lot, are there's certain pine cones and coniferous plants out here that only even produce a new seed when it's in a fire.
Yep.
I was like, what? That's just nuts to me that like the fire
part of it has to happen.
Yeah, it's made a way to adapt and beat the system, knowing that lightning or something's going to eventually cause a problem. And now there's humans with Bix and shit everywhere, so it's like I don't know.
In the end, too, like the nutrients that get put back into the soil really does help everything regrow better. you know, like in the end. But like during this transition period, and like especially when it first happens, it's fucking devastating, man.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
tough to see personally.
Yeah, the loss of life is really hard, and you just imagine the amount of animals and like not even just animals, all the micro ecosystems,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
infinite
It's all a
variety.
circle.
Yeah, we're just a part of it. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of human devastation. You know, a lot of empty wreckages of homes and stuff. But you know, the whole valley and everything else that was all forest. You know, is also home to millions of other things that had to either die or move. It's just different. You know, it makes me really cautious with this powerful thing that we consider as fire and we take for granted a lot of times. You know, it's something to be like evaluated and understood. You know, I'm like, I don't know, I like making like fire tattoos and just all kinds of appreciate it because it scares me. You know,
Mhm.
You're right.
it's out there that we all have to be around.
You start to
Anyhow,
respect the element totally differently.
back to that. Shit, talk more quickly.
I think that's kind of a funny thing to talk about, or just the fact of like the interest in like the, in scary things and in things that like, I don't know, something you have reference towards. So like say like fire and how you might incorporate, fire and something like that in like a piece of art or something. I think of like scary tattoos and like some people question why someone might like something really scary, but it's, the fact that it scares you in the first place is pretty interesting. And so like, I don't know if you're using scary textures and scary things in tattoos or scary subjects.
It makes
Like,
you ask why.
Like
Why
scary
would
men.
ya?
What if we did like a scary ass 2020 art show that was just like all the fucking most frightening things?
Just the scariest stuff you could think
And
of.
then we host it online. People could bid on the paintings and look at all the paintings, and then it's all based off of just the year in review kind of thing. You select whatever you choose to, represent for the weird
I think
ass.
that's a great idea. Adam, I think you're onto something.
Yeah, I mean,
It'll be like throwing it into the fire.
Yeah, for real, like, we'll definitely like spread the word on something else. I got a few ideas right now. What the fuck?
Let's do it. Let's start it up. Let's start a really dope art show, and we can be a big online art show. Maybe there could be like
The Lost Year.
The Lost
The
Year
guy called it earlier.
of horror.
Yeah. We haven't even actually had
death
an
art.
art show at the studio since we've been open at the new
Oh
location.
shit!
There definitely needs
There
to be
hasn't been
another
a
Ohio
single art
Bio
show.
show. And I really hope Nathan throws one of those. But we need a good art show.
Yeah, we should hit him up. We should be like, Nathan, come talk to us about tatties, and
We do need to hit Nathan up.
encourage him to bring the Ohio Bio show
Mhm.
back to life.
Sounds
Yeah.
like a plan.
I feel like Red Tree is just kind of like the Ohio Bio show in general.
Well, that was Nathan and Nicole's baby, though.
No, not like that. I just feel like, it's all bio art as you
Oh.
walk around Red Tree.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot
We
of
all
it.
have a lot of bio art. There's a lot of bio art on the walls.
It's not
Yeah.
the Ohio Bio show, though.
Dude, have you ever seen Ty's living room? It's the most bio art I've ever seen, like crammed in one. I think he's moved since then, but like it's kind of hard to find, like wall space. There's not even like a finger width between the next thing that's just like, I can't even take this in. There's just too much awesomeness right now.
Overstimulated with beautiful art.
I love that, It's like less wall, more art.
Yes.
I can't
100%
wait.
agree.
I'm slowly tiling my walls in piece by piece. I've got so many pieces I need to go get framed right now.
Yeah.
They're stacking up.
I got a couple I need stretched, but not originals. There will be a time when I start collecting all originals.
Just do it, Jordan.
Just do it. Just stop buying prints.
We waste money on ridiculous things. Waste it on art. What do you guys think about that?
You're not wrong.
Look at my body. I guess I have.
Right?
What better is there to spend your money on?
Yeah, money you enjoy wasting is not wasted money.
No.
Yep.
I like that.
Just pull the trigger, buy the originals. I've got a few prints. That I love, but I'm trying to hoard as many originals as I can. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Just fill my walls.
Yeah.
Build a bigger house.
That's what you do with them. I would put them on my walls.
Yeah. That's usually what you do with artwork. Or put it in a cabinet.
As a matter of fact, I would gladly put them on my walls.
Who's playing drums? I'm getting down with it.
I think Ty's moving and it's
Oh, my bad.
It was good. It was good. I thought it was deliberate, man. I thought you were just
Nah.
like,
I'm getting ready to sit down for dinner, so I'm gonna bounce out.
all right, man.
That's cool, man. Thank you for joining us.
It was
thanks for
awesome
having
seeing
me.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
you guys
Great
too.
night.
All right.
Good to
Love
see
you
you,
guys.
Faye.
Bye.
Later, Ty.
See ya.
All right, guys. We have been going for 2 hours already.
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just looked at the time and I thought we were
Oh,
like an
it's so
hour,
far.
hour and a half.
Yeah, we
in,
killed
but
2
we're
hours
full
quick.
2 hours in.
We talked about aliens. We talked about bio. We didn't talk about Bigfoot yet.
Has anyone here seen Bigfoot? Is that a thing?
No.
We also
I
haven't
Bigfoot.
talked about Tesla. There are so
We
many
talk about
things.
Looks like
and
Bigfoot.
Neuralink's pretty biomech. I mean, that's about as bad. Literally, I mean, it's like
Well,
another way of
I was
saying
talking
biomech.
about like Nikola Tesla, but also that Tesla as well.
Yeah.
Both Teslas. We'll just talk about them all.
Neuralink me. Put me in a cybernetic body. And
You know,
shoot me into space.
Adam was asking about that. You know, that's probably one thing that's missing out of biomech more than anything is what controls it.
What, real cybernetic augmentation?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, I kind of want to hear what the other two homies want to say about that too, because I think I feel like they just had this like a different answer too, you know. But I know that like the cybernetic thing is something that we're kind of lacking in the, you know, even after like the cyberpunk explosion and all that here recently and stuff, you know. I feel like there's a few guys that are just really nailing that look, you know, where it looks like it's kind of segmented and there's some like cyberpunky cool, like, you know, mechy shit underneath with like circuitry and stuff, you know. But I don't know, I feel like we're on the brink of seeing this like other change where, you know, it could either go one way or another, where people take that as like the science fiction that leads to the technology or something almost in a way. You know, it doesn't have to come from tattoos, but
Right, and it just can start with that like aesthetic look of how something like that might actually sit on the skin until like that is the way things end up starting to be designed, and maybe the skin is peeled apart in some way, you know, based on design like that, and they use that as like the aesthetics or like the clothes to it, you know, or like the way to make it look extra fancy.
So to the other two collector homies, what's missing from Biomech right now? Like what do we need more of? What's kind of like just on the fringe that we just haven't reached for yet or something, you know?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like one of the reasons why I like Biomech is because it's got a little bit of everything. There's like the more like organic looking stuff like Ty and Guy and Carson do, and then there's the like robotic stuff that you do, and then the darker elements of like Jesse Levitt and Paul Booth do. Like I feel like it's got a little bit of everything like within that one genre, and that's one of the reasons why I really like it a lot.
Yeah, awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, dude, I kind of forgot all about the Paul Booth and Jesse kind of darker kind of thoughts in my head, you know. It's like those guys are just, they got their own awesome corner for it, man.
Paco's mostly
No
organic.
kidding.
Yeah. What about Blade?
I agree a lot with the like robo, like more cyber robotic limb stuff, because I mean I do see it here and there, but I feel like there could be a lot more true robotics. Like I wish I could think of who this person was. I think they deleted their Instagram, but they used to post like stuff where like it looked like you had like real pistons and like you actually didn't have a leg anymore, and it was like you had it replaced with true.
And it has its real function and stuff.
Yeah, like it looked really functional, and like that was like a robotic limb. I want to see like that kind of thing. I love that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like
I agree.
like
I
the
agree with
Terminator.
Blade.
Yeah.
Like I want to look like the Terminator.
I want to see more of all that.
Like a mesh between like photorealism and then what we consider as like mech or biomech, you know, like actually wrapping it around the idea of like flesh and anatomy and tissue and things like that, or, you know, the fabricated kind of side of it where it looks like that, but it's got all the components of being like a human, but you're obviously not.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
Eric Del Tiole, the guy from Canada, does all the
Yeah.
the hyper realistic, like gooey, stringy stuff, or like he does some like rigid kind of metallic looking stuff sometimes too, but it's always like in very, very like highly rendered organic environments. It's really like it's a good mashup.
What do you think's missing, Brian? What we need? Like, what's Biomech like? Just like, kind of like, should be a buddy with, but it's really not yet, or something. You know?
You know, I've been trying to sort of connect the two worlds of like, I guess 2D like geometric work with bio. And actually another collector, Tim Renda, brought it up to me just kind of recently, where he was like, man, I haven't ever seen like actual biomech with like geometric patterns on it necessarily. And he's like, have you ever seen anything like that? I'm like, man, I don't know. It'd be really hard to render to fully achieve because those patterns are so specific sometimes. It would be tough to kind of really make it look convincing, you know? So the way that like there's already textures on the bio environment stuff and adding pattern work to it, you know, almost like there's like grids over top of things. I always thought that would be interesting to see, you know. He brought up a really good point.
I think maybe if you were to start playing in like ZBrush and you were to like 3D render the bio shape or the robotic shape, and then you were to like overlay that, you could then manipulate it. But it'd be really, really hard to do freehand without.
You almost need to see the shadows, like in some type of program like that.
Yeah, like if you were gonna like emboss it and really like make it part of the structure, like you'd almost need that.
Yeah, it's just hard to, I find it hard to create the depth I want to create. Like I've messed around with trying to put it in different bio tattoos, and I feel like I achieved it pretty well in a few pieces, but like with what I normally want to achieve when I am doing a bio piece and trying to like create as much depth as I can with the piece, I feel like that's like the hardest thing I'm trying to, I try to overcome. You almost have to like give up on it a little bit unless you start getting like 3D with those, you know. It's hard, you can't just, hard to just like overlay a flower of life, but it can be done really well, like, for sure. So there's those, just like Brian said, those ways of trying to, you know, finagle it just enough to make it look really convincing with the environment that it's in.
Color spectrum too, you know, how it like transcends over an object, you know, like a different, you know, depth of color field over into the deeper kind of shadow zone. You know, if you just utilize a really awesome pattern that almost has like a 3D effect, but then change the color spectrum in certain ways, like one side would look like it's ridged. I mean, I feel like it's, I don't know, Brian, let's do this. Let's make this collaboration happen.
All right, let's go. I'm down.
Birth of brilliance.
Yes.
One of the things that I would love to see more is like, I guess I'm pushing it so much just because I want to see it more. But like just stripped back basic elemental shapes combined with like the aether, however you would describe that, however you would it would in your mind describe that. I'd love to see more of that because it takes, you know, it would take a combined imagination between, like, for instance, me and my client or the tattooer and client to come up with how they would imagine that. Like, you know, if you were to like flip into another dimension or you were to like hyper travel, like what would it look like? You know,
right.
And not that's necessarily, you know, bio, but it kind of is. I just want to see like those realms explored some more. You know, we see like space mech. Why can't we see other dimensional mech? I guess that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
You
I
know
would
what I
say
mean?
that
Like I want
that realm definitely
to
sits
be
in
like
the Mecca.
you're looking into a whole nother dimension, not
tattoos.
just another space. Like it could be another time, it could be a mirror, it could be like, you know, I just like that other element, you know, but
Bringing
at the
the
same time,
abstract in. Like what'd you say, Jordan, earlier, where you bring the abstract into reality?
Yeah, yeah. Just trying to
That's
take
pretty
the
far
abstract and
reaching.
make it real,
That could be pretty
real
wide.
and convincing.
Yeah. I think Fawn's idea fits into that pretty heavily. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
hard to
absolutely.
take it, you know?
And it's funny, you've got this, I don't know if you can see it on either of our angles, but we've got this Alex Gray tapestry. So it's like while I'm sitting here trying to find the words to describe like other dimensions, there's like,
Ooh, yeah, the God's like.
yeah, so that like that's what I'm looking at as I'm like looking for the right words to like describe this thing that's missing. Like Alex Gray type stuff without using Alex Gray's stuff for reference. That's what's missing. That element of the other like if you want to call it the DMT realm or the, you know, dream realm or the other,
something
the
that's
other
being pulled
side,
from the
whatever it is.
creative aether.
I want to see more. Yeah, I want to see more of that in bio work. You know, and I love seeing Alex Gray's work, but I
So like
I
that
guess I want to
visionary
see,
aspect.
yeah, I want to see more visionary bio work. But all bio is visionary, in my opinion. But I want to pull in. I in my own work, I want to pull more in from that other realm or that other dimension. But I crave to see how other people would do it and how other people would interpret it. But it takes a certain kind of collector to be like, I want to daydream. Whatever, just a daydream, an energy daydream. Yeah, but
You ever have somebody just go, just do that stuff you do, that weird stuff that's like, you know.
Say no more.
I got you.
You know, here's a whole arm. Just do that. Do that thing that I saw you do a couple times.
Right. You know, the like.
With the stuff and the thing. And,
oh, yeah. I know exactly what, yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
One time Carson was like at this convention and this guy comes up to our table and he goes, yeah, I want some of the that shit that looks like space broccoli on my arm. And we were like, oh, right on, you know. And like he's like, clear, I got you, you know, texture wise and just I don't know what you're going for, but we were like, space broccoli.
That's so funny.
And I've also had people go at it's like tribal, but it looks like it's got texture and shapes, you know. And I was like, tribal texture? Like, I don't think they ever made that, you know. I was like, oh.
Oh, you mean glorified?
You're like meta, like awesome tribal with cool textures and little shapes and stuff, you know. No, it's got these other things. And they show you like a Biomech photo, you know. Oh, right on. But then you're like, you know, it kind of is the bare bones and, you know, the first two or three kind of aspects of what a tribal piece would be. It fits the body, it flows with some of the muscle, it has that, you know, S kind of shape to start a lot of it, but it's got texture and it's all this other stuff, you know. And if you don't know how to go about asking for Biomech,
the art words,
yeah, that looks like space tribal or something to you, you know. You're gonna shoot for that. So
if somebody came to me and used the words "I want space tribal," I would be like, "Have a seat."
Have a seat. Yeah, it would definitely be a say no more thing. Like,
I got you. What's your favorite color? There we go.
Yeah, what's your
That's all I
favorite
need.
color?
I'm changing my business card tonight.
To space tribal.
And I'm buying all those domains tonight.
Spacetribal.com, space tribalist.
Get on it. Get on it.
Space
Somebody's
tribe.
going to take it at them.
I think I'm about to jump off here, guys. It's time for dinner for me on this end too.
Awesome,
All
guys.
right, man. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on, Adam. That was
It's
awesome.
been an awesome night. It's been a
Love you
great
guys.
show.
Good hanging with everybody. Good to see you, Blade.
Awesome.
And
See your face again.
Nice seeing Adam.
Yeah, latte for us. See ya.
Adios, have fun.
Gabe. Oh yeah, Odds is in here.
Odds,
Hi.
hi.
See you
Love you
guys.
Oh, bye, guys. You too, man. Yeah, that's been awesome.
Oh man, Brian, we've hardly heard from you tonight.
I know, man. I was like in work mode, and then I was like starving, so I had to like grab some food and like running around and like cleaning up a little bit, you know.
Well, I'm glad you were able to join us. I really appreciate it.
Brian, where are you located?
I'm in Denver right now.
Denver?
Yeah, I've been here
Okay.
for 2 years.
That's like 3 hours back from now. From us out here, we're in Columbus. 2?
Mountain time, so it's like what, 8:20 right now.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's not too late of a night for you.
Yeah, no, it's not too bad.
Cool. How many hours did you put in today on your project?
We started at, I want to say like 1. So I mean, we got a good probably like 6.5 hours in. Which was great, you know, like actually having you guys be willing to let me work while the interview was going down was a nice little distraction. I think helped it kind of push a little longer than she's.
I mean,
Oh, sweet.
it is the tattoo collecting podcast. There should be some tattoo collecting
happening
it.
during it.
Yeah, it should. It fits.
Mhm.
It's like the most appropriate thing that could happen.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was a good day. It was a lot of fun. She's a trooper. She's really, really young too.
What you doing, Sergey?
Like 18 or 19, I think.
Go
It's
ahead.
like, man, you get a full sleeve of like cool geometric stuff. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say they
Nice.
look like a big piece.
yeah, man. A whole
First
different-
tattoo?
No, she had a couple other ones in like various places, you know.
Jumped in.
Yeah.
Jumped in young.
Yeah. The learning curve is definitely a lot higher now, I would say. You know, there's just so much available information in like the tattoo world right now because of like social medias. So it's really easy to be like, oh, that's actually dope. Like, I want that, you know.
One of my favorite things is like just making people realize that whatever you see that you like, it's as simple as like hitting that artist up. I think a lot of people, you know, I'm not going to say don't go get tattooed by your local artist, like support your local artists, but at the same time, like, you know, treat your body as if it's real estate, you know, seek out good artists. Like it doesn't matter how old you are, but put the work into finding the right artist for you, you know, and then everything else just kind of falls into place.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's kind of that first initial piece that someone gets that's like really nice, you know, that sort of sets the bar, and all of a sudden it's like, now they all have to be this nice, you know.
Yeah, you can't take a step back.
No.
You can't backslide.
No, you can't backslide. Definitely not.
And I also honestly think it kind of helps other artists take you seriously as a collector. You know, you're like, hey, I want to get a piece from you. You know, I already have some work from some of your colleagues. You know, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like this person already gets it. They know what they want. They know how to do it the right way. Let's get them in. You know.
Yeah, it definitely opens doors.
Yeah.
Makes all the other artists have to step up to the plate too. They're like, "Oh, yeah, that's a really good piece. All right, sweet. I guess
how do I
we're really doing this one."
Yeah.
No autopilot on this one.
Yeah, right.
We can't take this off of Pinterest 4 pages deep. We can't phone this one in. We gotta do it. We gotta do the homework.
All right, this one's for the homies.
That you drew that? Yeah, with my printer.
Yeah, I drew the original one. Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's funny.
No, man. One of the other things that I don't think it's missing out of bio work, but I think you are kind of filling the gap that I crave is like kaleidoscope. I want to see kaleidoscope in everything. So if you can take any kaleidoscope image, whether it's like a mandala or other ornamental shape, pack it full of color and have just like that explosion of kaleidoscope and then combine that with bio, that's visual heaven for me. I love it. So always love Geckel's work. Just because it's like, I just think it's like a similar kind of realms that I daydream in myself. So it, you know, it's really cool to see the possibilities, you know.
Yeah.
I might not think to, you know, approach something, and to me bio is so just organic and off the cuff when I make it, but when you add such a technical crisp element like some of the geometric shapes and the mandalas, it's like the best of both worlds, and I love seeing them just combined like that.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I would definitely relate a lot, because as a primarily like bio and geo artist, I feel like I definitely relate a lot to like Brian's work. When I see your work, I feel like you're one of those artists who are crossing those boundaries and being able to really integrate the two. I see like sometimes you'll kind of jump from either side of the board too, like it'll be a primarily bio piece, or like primarily geo piece, and then there'll be the pieces that really mix. And I like looking at those. It's a lot of inspiration for how, like, you know, okay, I see how you did that.
And pull his Instagram up while we're talking about it. There we go.
Look at that.
There we go. There's some
Yeah.
eye candy. There's some other realm ethereal stuff.
Keeping the colored lines, definitely.
Oh,
does
and
lot.
a splash of realism, just because.
Just cause.
Just so you know I can.
We're down in the trenches here. Oh yeah, there's one with Guy, our little collab.
This one right here?
Yeah, that was a fun kind of crossover with geometric and bio environment, you know. It was kind of Guy's original idea to make it look like the geometric stuff was almost like on these like discs, you know.
Yeah, I can see from like some of these shadows back here on the edges, and you know, that edge that really sets it into space.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to work with Guy on that one. And actually, this client has his other arm done by Ty.
That's
So
awesome.
It was kind of fun to try and you know, match up like the overall aesthetic so that his two arms kind of, you know, looked, you know, complementary. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Isn't it cool when you have a collector like that, where like everything's good and it's not a matter of like competing for better than or repairing work, but it's actually like adding the next piece to the collection, like just the next like cohesive chapter.
Yeah, I think there's actually pictures of this one more finished, a little further along too. I think we have since done a second session, kind of passing over the whole thing.
You think there's a?
I think it's up a little higher, yeah. Yeah, we're kind of deep down in.
Jordan scrolled right to the bottom. He's like, we're gonna what
Bottoms
do
up.
they call it? Deep like? We're gonna
up.
deep like this.
I don't know how I got that deep down there. I must have been like halfway down on the page when I clicked over to it.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is. There it is.
This one?
Down a little. Let's see here.
Go down.
A little more.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. So I think that's 3 sessions total. I think the first time we did 2 days back to back.
Did the yellows come in the last session?
The really warm yellows did, yeah.
And those warms really balanced everything out really nicely.
Yeah,
that does look really nice.
Yeah, that inside part's more rendered too.
Love those, like just ambient, like it's like a direct light source and also an ambient glow at the same time. super fun.
Okay.
Super
Yeah.
fun to achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could be remembering wrong, but you have a Adrian Lee back piece, right?
I do, yeah.
What is it like being tattooed by him? I absolutely love the scale of his work. Do you know who we're talking about?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Excuse me. Adrian's awesome. He's super. He's like both very down to earth and also like very spatial. So like he can easily maintain composure, but also like go off into like deep space when the conversation is provoked. You know, he's fun. He's a really fun guy. Pretty soft spoken. You know, speaks with a lot of
Oh,
intent.
there's Forrest.
Yeah, right there.
Pull that one up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that picture looks nice.
Look at this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was done with Josh. With Josh Payne, my
Yeah.
my arch nemesis.
The arch nemesis. That's great.
I love Josh. He's great.
This back piece here, right? That one.
Yeah.
This is amazing. This is the kind of stuff I want to play in, but I haven't had the opportunity to do anything of that nature
Yeah,
on this
That's a
scale.
That's a daydream right there.
yeah, this is a fun piece. This is a big guy too. He's like probably 6'4", maybe like 220.
Damn.
Turn me into a Taurus tree.
Yeah, he's a big dude. Yeah, yeah, and it's his
Wow.
first tattoo as well.
Oh wow, what a commitment, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know, he wanted a lot, and he had some really fun ideas. You know, like cool kind of atmospheric-esque landscape kind of, you know, almost what you were talking about, Fawn, with like that like imaginary realm kind of like aether. Deep
It's really
space.
hard to put a name to it, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. You know, almost like fantasy art.
Yeah.
In a sense, you know.
Do you think he's going to go for
Visionary.
full coverage?
I think he might. Yeah. So we're still plugging away at his back. We have another probably 2-ish sessions on it, I bet.
Oh man, I would love to get a collector that would commit to a full body suit that we could just plan this way,
Yeah.
you know,
And
big
he
piece
wants
by
an
big
art-
piece.
And he wants everything to kind of like connect in a way, or at least like, you know, have the intention behind it where it kind of all looks like it was thought out ahead of time, which it kind of has been. You know, this guy in particular is really good about sort of like checking in before we start each session. So like we'll kind of sit down and talk a little bit and kind of catch up and like discuss potential ideas and fit and flow. So there's a lot of like forethought to his collecting, which like I totally appreciate a lot. It's cool. Like just that little extra step, you know, where he kind of brings certain elements to the table and it makes it like, you know, better.
Very cool.
Yeah, he's great.
That's awesome. How does he, for his first tattoo, how's he taking it? Sit
Oh,
pretty
he's
well?
doing good. Yeah, he does really well. He's a solid sitter. He's always good for, you know, at least probably 6 hours, I would say. You know, right now we're working on all the stuff that's kind of gray line at the bottom of this piece, so it's a lot of like butt cheek and lower back work.
A little bit more difficult.
Definitely lighten him up a little bit, but he's still hanging tough, man. I'll tell you what, he's right out of the gate a warrior. You know.
I tell you what, Zensa and some of the other numbing creams work great on the butt cheekies.
Zensa?
Yeah, Zensa. It's we carry it, but you can order it anywhere.
Nice.
At True Tubes, but it was a lifesaver. The whole like butt cheeks, butt crack, like I don't know if I could have sat through some of that at all, let alone like in any kind of way that Russ could have like tattooed me without it. But the butt cheeks, like there's enough fatty tissue there that like the medicine is effective. Like once you leave it there and it soaks in, there's enough like tissue to hold that medicine in place. All the canes, the lidocaine and tetracaines. But
Interesting. Zensa.
yeah, Yep. It's like $40 a tube. A tube is enough for a session, but it's the most helpful numbing cream I've tried. And if you don't believe in it, like, because it does add a whole level of challenge and headache and hassle, because you've got to like wrap it and you've got to like let it sit and marinate for an hour. But for those extreme areas, like the under inside of the butt cheeks, lifesaver. Those areas are just so brutal. And if somebody's really struggling with those areas, like from the get-go, I'd use that just to like make to make yourself work less hard, really.
Yeah, I was using it for like the end of the sessions with Guy, like right on these back areas, like right along this edge. We just put it like
the
here.
armpit edge.
Yep, like there and there.
Oh,
so
that's
we
the
just
worst.
let it marinate the entire time, like of the second day when we knew we were gonna hit that last.
We marinated my armpits.
It was nice because then we got to end on just a totally numb note. But the Zensa, like that shit works.
We
It really
experimented
does.
with 2 different
Just
kinds.
not that
I
long.
used the Canada paste, the stuff that like you have to like custom order. And then I used Zensa, like back to back, one on one armpit one day and one on the other armpit the next. And Zensa worked so much better. It's less messy and it wipes off a lot easier than other numbing creams. Not that we plug products. We don't plug products or anything, but it wipes off easier. And you can reapply it after the skin is broken. So like if you take like a lunch break, you can wrap it up and it won't hurt. It will only help.
Yeah,
It
it's
won't hurt
really
anything.
helpful on the clients who really just have a hard time sitting. I don't have a ton of clients that sit that bad, but there's always, there is 1 or 2 people I think of in particular the past couple months that have been coming through, and like I sell it to them, and each set, like they usually put a bottle on like before they come in. Like this had this huge side piece we just wrapped up, but she had such a hard time sitting right away. Like she just put herself into a project that was a little bit bigger than what she thought, or like harder to get through than what she thought. She wanted this really big piece, and it turned out amazing. I was really happy with it, but right away she realized, okay, this is going to be way harder to get through than what I originally thought this was going to be. And
that's
just
how
such
my
a big
chest
piece,
was for me. We talked about that earlier. But the numbing cream is helpful.
Yeah.
With the Zensa stuff, do you run into similar issues where you leave it on too long and it kind of can cause some like kind of strange side effects?
I have not had like kind of like Vaseline and stuff like does.
Yeah, where you hear about like if people leave it on too long, they almost go into a form of like shock or like.
Okay, I can talk to you about this. Okay. So they say to just use it on a small area. Define small area. It does define small area and it means small. But anyways, so I've used it several times.
Are you talking about Vaseline or Zensa right now?
I'm talking about the Zensa.
Okay.
So if you're using it on like half of an arm, you're fine. If you're using it on like the lower leg or ankle or like a panel of the thigh, you're fine. If you're using it from the top of your shoulders to the bottom of your butt crack, that's too much.
Sure.
I was like nothing crazy happened to me or anything, but I definitely felt like a little fluttery. Like my pulse was a little fluttery that day.
When you have like an entire limb or that big of an area, well, sorry, cut you off. Oh. I felt really weird when I did that.
I wouldn't recommend doing your entire back in it all at once, but like a large portion of a limb, I never like that much area. I never noticed any adverse side effects. But doing like your entire torso, that's too much. Don't do your entire torso.
I haven't done that, but like I've covered from like right here to right here before Adam worked on it last time, and that I didn't get sick from it. It just felt so strange to just be that numb from there, and like my mind wanted to tell me that something was wrong. Like the body tells you, like my mind's like, this just feels weird. Like it feels wrong. Like it shouldn't just be like that.
Your body
of
still
course
knows
I know
it's
like
injured.
It's fine, but it's, or even before it was getting tattooed, you know, when it was just that numb, you know, I just touch it and I would just be like, literally my entire arm would just be dead. I'm like, this
Yep.
is really weird. I can't even imagine getting it tattooed. But I didn't get any. I've never gotten sick from it, and I've never had anyone have any adverse side effects. I personally used to use Vaseline a lot and never had those types of side effects. I would just get like the raised skin type of thing, or the thing where the tattoo skin is all, tattooed skin's fine, but right around it, all the skin is really puffy.
So some of my
'Cause
roughest
vaso
heals on my
restricting.
back were the sessions that we used Vaseline at the very end. So I'm not going to say absolutely don't use it because it did get us through the session, but just be mindful that because it's a vasoconstrictor, that it's doing a little bit more damage to the skin on a cellular level, just because it's depriving it of circulation. So it makes the heal you just got to pay a little bit more attention while you're healing.
I have
But, like-
noticed more than any other one that Vaseline, when it wears off, tends to hurt. Like the soreness comes on a lot more than with other things.
You think so?
Might just be because of like the amount of numbness you get from Vaseline when
You
you're
just
working
notice it
on like
more.
a large like Biomech, working on a piece that's covering a lot of area.
Mhm.
You say you're using Vaseline on them. I tend to find people have complained more about the pain and aftercare with Vaseline. They're like the night of, or as soon as it wore off, and like they're in a lot of pain. Tattoos healed up fine, but just they're just in more pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can admit to that because my feet, my right foot, we didn't use Vaseline, but my left foot we did. And that heel was horrible.
Was it?
3 weeks. For 3 weeks, my foot hurt bad.
Did it like scab up and stuff or anything?
Yeah.
Like, did you think it caused any like sort of like actual physical difference, or was it like just like physical pain difference?
Just physical pain difference. Well, I couldn't move my foot as freely as I could my right foot after. I mean, my right foot was healed within 8 days. This one, it took like 3 weeks for it to fully heal.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of stuff usually does change the consistency of your skin and the ability to put the pigment in efficiently. So I feel like oftentimes, because it does change like the consistency of your skin, you can kind of end up like overworking a little bit easier.
Yeah, I was actually just going to say something like that is I found sometimes with people, the skin is definitely, when it's that much softer, like someone's just spent 2 hours Zensing their arm, just marinating in like, this lotion type stuff, that it's like super soft. So like blowouts, are a little bit easier. Overworking is a little bit easier. And I find myself, there's a level of it working against it a little bit. If they have it on for 45 minutes, it's fine. But I've had a couple people that left it on for like 2 hours beforehand. And I was like, oh man, that's way longer than what I wanted you to have it on there for.
Yeah.
And noticed that it just had like a different texture to the skin in general.
Well, after like the first hour, the first numbing medication, and it will start deactivating. So now you're relying on the second. So basically you've got like the sweet spot. So you want it to be Sensa in particular, an hour-ish, give or take 15 minutes is usually the sweet spot. But any shorter than that, you're kind of wasting your time and making a mess. Any longer than that, you're kind of just eating up your window of effectiveness. I just like to use it, like if it's a challenging session, I like to use it just to get a head start, or like say we're getting ready to get into a challenging area, then I'll just numb that area and let it sit. You've seen how I do that, where I'll just like have like the saran wrap sitting in an area I'm not working, where it's marinating, and then I'll just bounce to that after it's been long enough to be effective. So it's like I'll numb up little patches as I go on my clients, and that seems to be the most effective way for me to work on it, because then I can like, okay, I know I'm going to go to that area next, so we'll just let that sit and marinate while I'm detailing this out and cruise on up. But it definitely has taken experimenting with it a lot myself as I'm been collecting to figure out the better ways to use it with my clients, to like use it efficiently but also not put too much of that into the body.
Yeah, just try to like, if you don't need it, don't use it. Like,
yeah, Tough it out. Tough it out where you can. Do I use it on arms? Not always.
Backteen's so like backteen works so nice.
Do I use it on the elbow?
Oh no,
Personally?
I can't do that no more.
What?
You just use Bactine.
Yeah.
Oh, you've gotten spoiled, Todd. You've been babied too much.
Oh no, but see, I've tried numbing myself up before a session and that, and I will never do that again. You only can truly numb it for 4 hours, and if you try to numb it after, it just don't work.
I think 4 hours is probably a stretch. Maybe a 3 hour is a more realistic window for most projects. 4 would be like the best case scenario.
Yeah.
Do you realize how long my average session is?
How long is your average session?
10 hours.
So you get a 4 hour head start.
So, I mean, so I just learned that you just deal with it until you can't. And usually you start using whatever numbing agent they got.
That's what I'm saying. I think
you go from there.
The best. I think that's a good way to go
Because
about it.
Because you get a sweet spot of getting. I mean, you used to. Anytime now they touch my skin and it's like, fuck, it hurts so bad anymore. But when you first start off, you get that, you have that adrenaline rush growing, so you get that cushion, and then it takes about, well, for me, it used to take 3 hours before it really would start to irritate me. And then another 2 hours before I was like, oh, okay. And then, they would start, when I first started doing it, it was Bactine. And that got me going. That got me through them for a while. Then they started bringing all that other stuff out, and I was like, I want that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're doing really long sessions, you have to. It's the only way you can do long sessions. I don't know how anyone could do 10 hours without some type of numbing thing.
Yeah,
I've been lucky enough with all the artists that I've gone to. Well, mostly Nathan, Guy, and Adam. All three of them are heavy Bactine users, so I feel lucky, or I was lucky.
I try to. I started talking over you. I try to, when we're using any kind of numbing, anything. I try to. The reason I always call it a head start is because I always try to use it mentally as the moment that I'm just easing into the tattoo. And then I try not to mentally start that clock until it wears off. And then that's where I want to start my 5 hour timer or whatever my mental personal goal is for the day. I try to tough through that. And then once that wears off, it's okay, here we go. We're in for the long haul now.
Yeah.
But as a tattooer, I feel like it just gives my clients more stamina so that I'm able to work longer. I get carried away with my projects. I like to sit and if I can get 8 hours of tattoo time in a day, I would be a happy camper every day. Go in for 10 solid 8 hours needle in the skin. But that's not realistic for everybody without numbing stuff or something to just help with the stamina and the pain thresholds,
Yeah.
So for me, I use it just to stretch my sessions out. It's not really to make the pain go away, but to make that session longer. Is that fair? Is that a good way to say it?
Yeah.
I'm not using it as a shortcut. I'm using it to stretch that session so it can get more bang for your buck, basically.
Right. Just like with what Todd's saying, it's just using it later once it starts really hurting and you push yourself past, the point of where, this isn't easy anymore. Can definitely take the edge off a lot.
I gotta jump off. I hate to cut it out, but
yeah, I gotta.
Oh, you're good. We're cutting on 3 hours. We're gonna cut it off at 3 hours anyway, so this is perfect timing.
Yeah, it's been fun chatting. Good to see everybody's face.
Awesome, man. Thanks for joining us. We hope to have you
so much,
again.
Brian.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, let's do it again.
Cool. All right. Well, have a great night.
All right.
Sweet, dude. Later. Thanks again.
All right. We're down to the collectors.
Oh boy.
Forrest, I don't know if you mean to, but you're muted.
He's probably been singing to us the whole time.
Yeah, Forrest is mute. Forrest, you're muted, man.
How cool is that? We got like all of our artists together to chill with us.
Yeah, that was awesome. You guys are all
Yeah.
awesome. Thanks for being on here.
No, that's what I mean. I mean, like collectively, like all of our artists.
Oh, yeah,
Their
yeah.
artists, my artists, your artists. It's kind of cool. That's probably like the closest thing to that like little bit of a family reunion feeling you get from conventions is right there what just happened.
Yeah.
Like when we jump on other conference calls and it's like other artists that might be like colleagues from other places in the country, but like when it's like actually our homies and our artists who have worked on us and like, you know, the other collectors that like we haven't seen since the last convention. It's kind of nice to have that feeling.
Right.
Just
That's really
like,
cool.
it's
It's really cool to be able to
it.
do this.
Thank you guys. You're awesome. Thanks for taking the time to come and like just nerd out with us.
Yeah, I know we kind of went all over the place. It's Biomech episode, but we talked about aliens. We did talk about all sorts of shit, but I think it's all fun. I had fun.
Yeah, I
Happy
appreciate you
are here.
guys.
It was good.
And I appreciate you guys sticking through. We're here at 3 hours now. I feel like time's kind of flown by.
I think it's kind of cool to have like, that's the first time we've really had like a group of collectors with artists who have worked on them. Like we've had artists and collectors together, but not like, you know, the artists who have done the work with the collectors who have received them. So it's kind of cool.
There's a really cool mix of people we've had on here.
And all of them had like great collections too, which is crazy. Like Brian, Ty, all of them. I'm sure Adam does too.
It's probably a little bit
Like
different to talk about that side of it when every other time, you know, or the majority of the other, like, you know, panels, questions, interviews are about the work that they're doing. You know, we don't often get to sit and actually like talk about the work that we receive and why, you know, as tattooers, as collectors, this is the platform to do it. But
yeah,
it's cool to have like other tattooers that like are equally as passionate as we are and who are, you know, they're tattooing every day, but they're still collecting passionately and they're still seeking out their favorite artists. And
that's a rare breed, an artist that collects like that.
Yeah, I mean, it really is.
It used to
I
be.
feel like we're a little bit spoiled because a lot of us, I feel like we're kind of around like our general community of people we're around.
our tight-knit circle. We're all such heavy collectors that like.
But like really, it's like they're just kind of peppered out there. You know, it's not, they're far and few between. But we all get together with our conventions and we all know each other from this. So it can seem at times like, you know, that's kind of what, you know, what's going on. But the reality of it is it's not.
There's like a handful of us that have found this way to be like interconnected and know one another and find our own groove. And like, not only have we found each other, but we're all transforming together. You know, we're not just on our own journey. We are on our own journey, but we're all on our own journey together. It's like we're almost like.
Well, I know Forrest and Jay more than I know Blade, but I watched those guys transform in front of me, and it's been pretty cool watching them progress over time.
Todd, I feel like you and I have both been watching each other from a distance for a while. And then Derek's like, you got to meet this guy. You'll get along great.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Blade, I totally forgot. I remember you were talking about you got some new tattoo recently.
Oh, yeah, we did. Me and Kevin did my shoulder. Like we did the eyeball fawn that you were really interested in. We started doing that. You know, I'll take off my shirt.
Yeah.
It's still super healing, but all of this stuff right here we just did on Saturday.
That looks so
sweet.
Nice.
And then there's the pit healed up. God, I've no
Looks
good
so
one.
gnarly.
Yeah, that's been crazy to do.
That's a pretty amazing.
Crazy to get through.
Yeah. This was not so fun, and then of course the armpit was just terrible. I hated that. I hated every moment of that.
Yeah.
I bet.
And I didn't numb for that one, which I really wish I would have. I really wish I would have numbed.
I'm thankful that I numbed my armpits, but it seemed like it only helped for the first half, no matter what. So like if we started at the top, by the time we got to the crease, the middle most painful part, it had worn off. So like the
Yeah.
worst part I had to tolerate anyways. And then we'd work down into the ribs, which is the most exhausting part.
Yeah,
So
gosh.
a head start. That's really all I got. But Guy's awesome. He was so patient with me. He definitely like used the Bactine liberally. We got through it. We got through it.
Nice. Well, I think on that note, I think we'll probably wrap it up, guys.
Yeah, I got to get going too.
You guys have been
Awesome.
troopers.
It's
Thanks for
been
hanging in there.
a great night. Thanks for joining us for the evening show. It was awesome to be able to have our West Coast buddies bump in.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to share the Bio Boys page?
Yeah, that's
And
right.
maybe take
Hashtag
turns sharing
bio or not.
personal pages if you want to.
Yeah, at Bio Boys. Check out
Yeah,
Bio Boys. It's Forrest.
bio_boys, and my personal was just at not Forrest G. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Nice. Yeah, that's an awesome page full of tons of biomech.
Yeah, you guys are doing a great job curating that. I really enjoy following it.
It's cool seeing everyone's like what they're into and just all the different genres like we talked about. Like it's a cool, fun thing to do.
Yeah, I had them pulled up. I was gonna sit and go through them on here, but we actually, I don't know. We got to talk and we didn't get the chance. Next
That's
time,
okay.
there'll be
Gotta do
another
another
time
night
though.
for sure.
You guys
Definitely.
get an awesome biomech reference website or reference page. It's all the best
Oh,
artists are on there. It's cool.
Yep.
Well, sweet, fun. Where can people find you?
At fawn_baker on the Insta or fawnbaker.com for any work related things.
Sweet. Yeah, myself, Jordan Ruckus, tattoo.com if you want to book, and tattoocollecting.com
Cool.
for anything tattoo related.
Blade,
At Jordan
you want to
Ruckus
share
for
your
Instagram.
handle?
My Instagram name is @bromodio. And that is my only thing.
Todd, do you want to share any of your? I know you got a couple of projects you're involved with.
Yeah, I got Gojira 54, which is GOJIRA 54, and then Skin Art Collectors,
Nice.
part of that.
Everybody should follow that page. How many admins do you have that run that one?
8, I think now.
Yeah, you guys do a great job with that. That's probably one of the
Thanks.
more eclectic. Like you're gonna see something different every single post. It's a very eclectic page. I've found a lot of artists myself just from following that page over the years, even before I knew you ran it. So follow
Yeah,
that
there's,
page.
yeah, we try to find, well, you're always going to find someone new. I mean, it's just amazing how many new ones come up almost every month, pretty much now.
Right.
Like that 2 Dan that's in Vietnam. I mean, he just appeared out of nowhere. And he's doing those full scale back pieces that are just pretty freaking amazing.
Isn't it crazy when they just come out of the woodwork and it's so mind blowing where it's like, how did I not know this guy existed or girl?
But that guy,
whatever.
but here's the kicker about that dude. He's only been tattooing 14 months.
Doesn't it make you want to just like slap a baby when somebody is just like that much of a prodigy? Like, oh, you're so good, so fast.
Yeah, I mean, only 14 months, and it's just like insane.
Some people, they just got it. They're born with it.
They just found their
Yep.
groove at just the right time, man.
I think so. There's some people that are like that. I mean, and it amazes me that they can do it because this art form is a lot of skill. There's a lot of technical aspects of it that you need to know.
Good teacher. A good teacher will do a lot.
Cool.
But all right, Jay.
Yeah, my Instagram is just my first and last name, Jay Grimmy. And
Sweet.
then I also am part of the Bio Boys page.
Oh yeah, we did that one already.
Follow
Well,
Jay.
sweet, thanks, man.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of cute pictures of his dog. And as always, you can find links to all of our previous episodes on tattoocollecting.com. And that'll also link you back to the platform that hosts all of this, Reinventing the Tattoo.com.
Yep.
And the app. If you don't have it, download it.
Yep. And let us know if you've seen a UFO.
Or a Bigfoot.
Yeah. Or Bigfoot. More. Yeah.
All right, Gabe, do you have anything you need to add?
UFO for real though.
No, I'm all set. That was awesome.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks, Gabe.
Just smile for the camera and wave crazy so that when Lauren shuts off the, she's got the controls.
We gotta wave. We gotta look cheesy and wave.
All right. See
Have
you
a great
guys later.
week, everybody.
Bye,
See you
Lauren.
next
Thank
week.
you.
Bye.